The opinions expressed of this show are for entertainment purposes and should not be misconstrued or interpreted as fact. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700.
Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Can-Can. Kenny Can-Can wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can-Can, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is the way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado Custodian, Billy Friedrich. Those one are all coming down to the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the corporate Peter Low Shack, legendary sports handicapper, more dapper than a Dom. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio is all. Is a man named Slaughter and he flips flip the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. Though we say we be pubbing, betting with the bag and you love it. We want a top 10, we above it. Leche.
What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, April 30th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. It's another strong night. We got to put our foot and slam it down on the gas because we're reading sports clearly. We're making money every single day. Swept the board in NBA yesterday. You know, up 1.62 units in NHL yesterday. Put ourselves in a phenomenal situation with the Oilers. They win the next game, unit and a half on plus 900. If I wanted, I could take the Kings in 7 at plus 320, which I don't plan on doing, at least at this point at all. We're just seeing things clearly, and it doesn't always work like this. And when it's happening like this, you have to slam your foot down on the gas and make as much money as possible. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Danny Kelly saying just here for the interview you're having with Tyrese Halliburton's dad. What's up with the dads these days? Jaws' dad, Tyrese's dad, Sweaty Butcher in the house. We got Justin McKelvey ready to get to work. Over 10.5 in the Braves game, over 10 in the Yankees game. Get this copied and pasted. So this is how we're doing things here right now. We are going to cap game 1 of the doubleheader right now. We're going to have Gogster joining us here shortly. Jose is still producing, so he won't be able to jump on with us right now. Pig Milk play today is the Blues plus 150. I'm against you, unfortunately, with confidence too. And I trust Hellebuck in this spot. I think he plays very well. 2-time Vezina Trophy winner, about to be 3-time Vezina Trophy winner. I do not believe that he is in a tough spot at all. I don't. Look what everybody said. The Kings were going to smash the Oilers after 2 games. I mean, who cares what happens on the road? Who cares? You can change that story. We'll talk all about that here. We'll talk all about that. Crystal Craig in the house. We got Gorky with Play Day, Reds game 1, and Braves a money line from our guy Gorky, truth teller, ready to get to work. Let's copy and paste all of this. We got Old E in the house. Great group ready to attack the board here. Rez Mob, Ronnie Lofton, Von Polo. Also, Ronnie Lofton saying great call with the Bucks last night. You tried telling me and the others, and thanks for the Oilers. How much money are the books losing on live betting the Oilers? Plus 190 again on top of all the money we're making in the series. Just absolutely crazy. Saturated, ready to get to work. Black Thor King, serious business. Rez Mob says Tobias Harris got him 8 units of profit by himself. There's the new worker ready to attack this board. Let's get it all here for everybody. Okay, so we're going to get in and my guy Wine Time ready to rock. I did not tell him that this is how the schedule was going, but of course he shows up backstage ready to attack the board. That's what this guy does. That's why he wins. And winning. Speaking of winning, Wine Time Sports is at 62.3% in Major League Baseball on this show. An ROI plus 19.73% with an average line of minus 101. 33-20. This is a expert class he's putting on right now. Now it's April 30th. We're a month in. Where are we going to be in 3 or 4 months? But good God, is he running nice. I'd love to see it. Let's cap this first game before we get in the NHL. Please welcome from Los Angeles, California, Wine Time Sports. Wine Time, what's good, man? How are you?
Jimmy the Bag. Happy Wednesday, man. I've been loving these NHL playoffs, Jim. I mean, moving on these spots. I was on the Ottawa Senators yesterday. I was on the Edmonton Oilers yesterday. Easy cashers. Been loving these NHL playoffs. I'm not throwing full units on these, but maybe I should be because this is easy fucking money right now. I've been enjoying it. It's been a good time, but I'm ready to break this game down with you. No play in this for me as of right now, but we'll see by the end of this breakdown if I move on anything in this one.
Let's do it, my friend. Let me just get Mr. Belvedere's action here copied and pasted here. Let's get it all locked and loaded. Gorky, you have nothing to apologize for, my friend. Look, the great part about our show is we don't have to agree. We're not a bunch of yes men. You can have your side, I'll have my side. Some days you'll win, some days I'll win. It's not big. It's nothing. It's just one day, one game, one situation. Christopher Carter in the house. AOD says the Lakers tonight. You're going to have to stick around for the show if you want to know that. I have already moved on the Houston Rockets, so I can tell you that much. Already moved on them yesterday. Let's get to work. Wine time. We have one game that we are capping before we get into the National Hockey League. 12:40 p.m. Eastern. We have a doubleheader. This is game one of the doubleheader. Day-night doubleheader at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Just my 2 cents in the house. Daniel Hernandez. Great to see all of you guys. Thank you for joining us. Johnny K says Leafs do. Leafs going to do what Leafs do every year. No, I mean, we scripted this whole thing. Now we go back to Toronto and Ottawa. I mean, we scripted it. But again, we'll get into that later. Cash that plus 150 on the Senators. 4-0 like it was fucking nothing. 65 Fahrenheit at Great American Ballpark. That's what it feels like. 3.6 miles per hour in. Let's get into the line history here for this one. I've been very slow to change while everybody else is changing to Odds Logic or to Wager Talk. I still have the action. I'm not going to stay with it. It's just that, there's 3 hours of the day where I'm not capping. I don't really have time. Like, I'm not even where I want to be for the Derby right now. I don't really have time to sit and learn how to, break down another website right now. I just don't have a goddamn second, but those will come. Let's talk about the Reds and Mr. Brady Singer here. Wine time. We have Singer at minus 135. Oh, no, just moved to minus 141. Let me refresh all of this here. Sorry, minus 141 on the Cincinnati Reds. We have, and this is all, this last, 7. Oh, no, it's all been moving for a while. I don't know why I still had 135 over there. Oh, because it just moved back to 135. 3 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We had a 6 cent move towards the St. Louis Cardinals. There we go. Okay, that explains that. So that's interesting. This opened up at minus 130. There had been a big move towards the Reds. The Reds, not big, but enough. The Reds had got up to minus 145. And now we're back to minus 135. Still a 5 cent move towards the Reds. From a total scenario, we have a 9. It's minus 112 to the over. Opened up at 9.5. Now we have a 9, so we have a half point move towards the under. Let me quickly grab the cash flow. Again, this is the Action Network, which we are leaving here. But for now, let's just take a look at what we are dealing with here on the Action Network. Those of you who have, said negative things about this, you were right. We have 84% of the tickets, 89% of the cash on the Cincinnati Reds. That's an interesting move back to the Cardinals. 90% of the tickets, 87% cash on the over. We talked about this game yesterday. Miles Michaelis, 0-5 are the Cards in games that he started. He looked bad all year long. The one believer in him last start was none other than TJ. TJ was, believed in him, and he showed out. And still, unfortunately, those of you backing the Cardinals had to take the L because they only put up 1 run of offense to back Michaelis. 6 innings, 6 hits, no one runs, 2 Ks, and 2 walks. Lefties are hitting him hard, but not ridiculous. 319 average, you'd think your OPS would be around 890, 880. It's 768. 245 average against the righties with a 684 OPS. Brady Singer, 4-0, 3.62 ERA, 1.13 whip on the season. By the way, I didn't mention Michaelis, 5.70 ERA, 1.52 whip. He's not looked good. 13 Ks to 9 walks. It's a poor K to walk ratio. But again, he's coming off a strong start. Brady Singer coming off a 5-2 win at the Marlins. He looked great. He's looked great this year. Lefties hit him harder than righties. Lefties are hitting 226.709 OPS, while righties are 205.31 OPS. Cardinals are hitting righties. Reds are hitting righties. Both are hitting them well with authority. Cardinals 263.730 OPS. Reds versus righties 266.757 OPS. Where is the biggest advantage? Well, you could say, well, it's Brady Singer over Michaelis, which I'm hesitant to agree with. Even just because we've seen Michaelis step up at times, and this market isn't, going from 9.5 down to 9 at an offensive ballpark isn't screaming that Michaelis is vulnerable here. The advantage is in the bullpen. Reds bullpen seems to be quite a bit better than the Cardinals bullpen at this point. 3.46 ERA, 1.15 whip. Cardinals bullpen 4.70 ERA, 1.38 whip. It is great to see all of you guys. Take it away for us here. Wine time. This game first pitch in 27 minutes. Cardinals Reds.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Justin McKelvey in the chat. Big Daddy Boom. Shout out to you. Up 50%, up 11.83 units. Shout out to you. Kong's clip. He said I'm going with the Reds in the first game, going back to the Cards in the second game. I bet this game yesterday. I got off the board because it was postponed. I was on the Reds -1. Woke up this morning thinking I was going to do the exact same thing, especially seeing that the Reds on my book went up to a -148. And funny, right before I came on the show, they were at -144. And right when Jimmy said refresh the page, I go back to refresh it. And what do you know? It's down to a -138. I'm going to refresh it right now just to see where we're at here for the MLB. But it's lines moving back towards the Cards, what has me scratching my head a little bit in this one. So I'm going to end up staying away from the Reds in this spot. What they do in the offseason, the Reds, they traded their leadoff hitter, India. They got Brady Singer from the Royals, a young arm that kind of grew up in that system. 4-0 to start the season. He's been pretty consistent in his starts. Don't get me wrong, there's probably only one pretty decent batting order that he's faced so far this year, and that was the first game of this season. I don't know. I kind of want to take the over here in this spot, but seeing at a 9, I think if this was a 9.5 or a 10, I think I would be on the over here in this spot. But since it's a 9, I just don't know how both these pitchers are going to do today. Is Brady Singer going to have some negative regression going forward, being 4-0? Facing a Cardinals lineup that isn't, doesn't stand out by any means. It's a decent lineup. Don't get me wrong. Sitting in the season 12-17, playing some not good baseball lately. And the Reds just on fire, a team that I didn't have a lot of good things to say about a couple weeks ago about this batting order. They've been able to put some runs together in different games this season. They've been playing really good so far. So definitely lean towards the Reds here in this spot, but just seeing the line movement towards the Cardinals has me maybe thinking maybe Michaelis deals here. Maybe he shuts down this Reds batting order. So that has me off this game as of right now. So I probably won't end up moving on this one just because the X's and O's in the market don't really line up with me here in this spot. Seeing these lines kind of move back and forth here before first pitch. I'm glad I didn't move on the Reds -1 again today because by now I probably would have gotten a lot better line. I'm going to end up staying away from this game, but Cardinals seem sharp. It definitely seems sharp, especially Michaelis being 0-2 here, going against a 4-0 pitcher and Brady Singer. Brady Singer's got good stuff, but he's not a Cy Young guy by any means. So yeah, this is going to be a pass for me. But this is going to be a good game to start.
Yeah, this line move back. It does make the Cardinals appealing. Well, we look in the chat, and Sir Mackey's the only one on the Cardinals. Everybody, a lot of cappers here on the under. Spooner with his action. Let me copy and paste that. We also got Ronnie Crawford's best bets. Let me get all this stuff in. Yeah, I don't think this is how I want to start the day. Now I'll be looking live here. It's funny though. I don't see what the move is live, honestly, because I feel like that under seems sharp. We've talked about lower totals at Great American Ballpark. So if there's a couple early runs, are you going to want to move on the under? And the answer is no, because that means that Michaelis or Singer's vulnerable. It feels like Cardinals are sharp. If the Reds take a lead, it means Michaelis is not looking good. So honestly, I don't see the angle to even live bet it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So those of you on the Reds, I get it. I think that I would be. Oh, and Justin McKelvey on the Cardinals +120. Spooner says, I don't understand the Cardinals' love here. Bad starter passes it to a bad bullpen in a hitter's park. I trust Singer way more. That's fair. But we've seen Michaelis pitch well. We didn't see it last year. So, look, I get it. But, yeah, this is just not how I'm going to start today. So you know what? Wine Time said on his tweet after Friday's impressive day where he went 7-2 on our show that we must keep winning. We must keep winning. And this isn't about putting out picks just for content's sake. We're betting these on the line, and I'm not starting the day like this, especially with how we're running right now. So that is the breakdown of game one. Good luck to all of you. It starts in 23 minutes. We're going to cap this NHL card. Go get yourself a coffee, my friend, or a glass of wine. It's pretty early for you over there, 9:18 a.m. Wine Time, we will see you soon. Spectacular work this year in MLB, my friend. Keep it up. You're leading by example. Very, very, very impressive. So keep rolling, and we will see you soon. Any last words for the Cappers as we roll into National Hockey League? Oh, sorry, I was a little fast. Any last words for the Cappers as we roll in?
yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. I'll be back in probably 30, 45 minutes. I'm going to be breaking down this card in the chat. I'm going to be listening to Jimmy in the chat right now. I've been tailing him on these plays, been listening to him break down these NHL games. Been watching these NHL games too, and it's been fun. So looking forward to that. But I'll be back for baseball. I'll be back for NBA. Shout out to you guys in the chat. Yeah, I'm going to make myself a coffee. Next time you see me, I might have a glass of wine in hand. So I'll see you guys soon.
There is Mr. Wine Time Sports. All right, it's time to get into the National Hockey League. I'm so excited, man. Like, I can't, wondering why I can't sleep. I mean, it's so messed up that when I'm winning like this, I can't sleep. When I'm losing, I can't sleep. And I don't want to be average at anything. Mediocrity is not what I'm looking for. You want to sleep and be mediocre? I was telling Slaughter, I was like, God, I got insomnia and gout, but I'm winning. And I'd rather be winning and horrifyingly unhealthy than losing and healthy. Please welcome from Bell Vegas, Ontario, another capper like Wine Time, leading by example. 94 and 110, 46.1% plus 10.42 units, ROI plus 5.11%, average line plus 149. Impressive work from our guy. Please welcome from Bell Vegas, Ontario, our friend Mr. Gogster to the telecast. Gogster, how are you?
Doing good, Jim. Good to see you this afternoon, buddy. You know, got a nice slate going on here. Game 5-6 should be a good card.
Let's get to work, my friend, because we have an absolute beauty on our hands, and I have moved on
What do we got?
every game here today. So let's go. Let's go. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. East first round, game 5. Washington leading the series against the Montreal Canadiens 3-1. These Habs 40, 31, and 11, 17, 19, and 5 on the road this season. Not a good road team, but of course, after the Four Nations break, they really came together. The Capitals were a great home team all season long, 26, 9, and 6. You know, not the best home team in the league. That was the LA Kings, who got fucking dominated from when the puck dropped till the final fucking whistle. Dominated the best home team in the league. Ooh, shit. But here we are in Washington, and it looks like Sammy Montembeault will not be between the pipes. 2.82 goals against average, 902 save percentage, 4 shutouts in the regular season. 2.76 goals against average, 908 save percentage. And Jakub Dobes, we expect to be in between the pipes. It's very, very, very difficult situation. And it reminds me of Arturs Shilovs. And if Jakub Dobes doesn't perform as well as Montembeault, let's say, let's say he's got an 890 save percentage right now. That's great. That's the problem. That's the problem. Sammy Montembeault's ceiling is look, I'm not going to sit here and believe that Dobes is ready for this. I like the kid. He's proven himself. I'm not going to say anything negative about him, but I'm not going to. Dobes is confirmed. This just reminds me of Shilovs, who was great last year when he came in for Demko. Everybody was talking about how great he was. What was his final save percentage place? What was it, like 888, 889? Because that's great. Mm-hmm. How can you get more than that from these guys? A Montreal power play has been excellent. 38.5%, penalty killing 90%. During the look, imagine you have a power play at 38.5%, a penalty killing at 90%, and you're down 3-1 in the series. I mean, that says a lot. We have Washington with a 10% power play and a 61.5% penalty kill, and they're in control of the series. Let's take a look at the line history here for our game 1. We're going to go into MLB right after this, and we're ready to fire there. But here we have the Capitals at minus 179. There's been a move back towards the Habs, which surprises me. This opened up at minus 180. It got up to minus 195 at 9:21 in the morning. Then there was a 15-cent move back. I don't care about the line moves that much in the NHL and NBA playoffs as long as we can explain them. The special teams from Montreal being very strong. Mm-hmm. Maybe Protas doesn't come back. I mean, even if it does come back, it's not that big of a deal. There's been a 1-cent move towards the over. We have the best bet. BJ is on the Houston Rockets money line. I'm on the minus 3.5 at minus 114. BJ, so we're lockstep, man. We're We're right together with that one. But here, let's break this down. Washington 1 victory away from winning a playoff series for the first time since winning the Stanley Cup in 2018. That's how long it's been. They've qualified for the playoffs 6 of the last 7 seasons, and they weren't able to get through the first round. They haven't even had a chance to clinch since a double overtime loss to the Hurricanes in the 2019 first round. Tom Wilson is maturing in front of our eyes. He understands that he doesn't need to go. If Josh Anderson wants to fight, look, he can beat Josh Anderson up into a pulp. He can beat Wi-Fi up. He can beat all these guys up, but you don't have to. You want to get under their skin, and you don't have to get off the ice. We need Wilson on the ice. We're seeing that. This is quote unquote from Tom Wilson. Says we're focused on one game. We've got a very narrow focus right now. We're not looking at years back, last year's group, 2 years, 5 years, whatever. We want to keep this machine rolling in here. We want to keep these guys dialed in. You always want to win on home ice. You always want to win every game. We'll be extremely motivated. Wilson changed the game with that huge hit on Alexander Carrier. 6:24 the third period. 15 seconds later, Duhaime scores, and it's 2-2. Oh. Carrier didn't play another shift. He's listed as day-to-day. Mangiapane scored at 16:23. That turned into the game winner. And then Duhaime and Wilson added empty netters. Wilson had 5 more hits, 3 shots on goal, a +2, and played 21-16. Now, all of these games have been close. Each of the Capitals' wins have been 1-goal games if you take out the empty netters. Washington could get a boost with Alexei Protas coming back, the 6'6", 30 goal scorer. He's been very, very impressive. The fans are going wild in Washington. It's been a wonderful year for them. On top of Carrier, they have Patrick Laine day-to-day. It looks like he's not going to be in the lineup. And look, you don't want him on the ice 5-on-5. You want him as a fourth liner, but you probably want him on the power play. He's not there. He had 1 assist, 6 shots on goal in his first 2 games. Take it away, Gogster. I'm on the Washington Capitals on the -1 line. Thank you. Pronounced Dobesh. Sorry, I was calling Dobesh. Dobesh. Thank you, Gorky. Take it away for us here, Gogster. Habs, Capitals. I'm on the Capitals on the -1 line.
Yeah, Dobish there, 1-1-1 so far, 875. Thompson came back after that brutal hit there from Stromer there, kind of buckled his leg, but he was still good to go. I still think in this series, though, goaltending is going to be a little susceptible. Offensive and defensive faceoffs, so guys, something I'm going to break down here. Round 1 so far in this series, the D-zone faceoffs have been 51 and 54%. Compared to these other 2 games coming up, that's the lowest. Offensive zone faceoffs have been 46 and 49%. So that's telling me there's going to be there's a little more offense there. 38% power play too from Montreal. No Laine. Doesn't look like he's going to be in the lineup. Jim Montembeault, he's not going to be in. Then Carrier, he got just dusted by Wilson, as you said. And then Protas going over quickly injuries, guys. He looks like he's going to be in the lineup. All signs are leading towards him being in. And for Farivari, don't think he's going to be in the lineup right now. But yeah, looking at this game, I think it's going to be an elimination game for Montreal. Thompson was saying too, he knows St. Louis, it's a small team, but they got so much fight in them. So it's going to be a test on both sides. I think the goals, though, guys, first period, both teams to score +160. I fired on, and then I even fired on both teams to score 3 goals +190. I think there's going to be goals in this game, even though it is an elimination game for Montreal. If it is a 2-1 game, that's advantage Washington. Then also Dobish playing on the road here. It's going to be a test. He has looked really good, though, coming up from Laval. Speaking of Laval, we'll have some action on the AHL later on. But yeah, Jim, I think there'll be some goals in this game. I want both teams, both first period and full game.
Let's go over the numbers here. First period, both teams to score. What did you get to that?
+160.
+160. And both teams to score 3. What did you get to that?
I got that at +190.
I think one team is going to score goals in this hockey game. We're going to see the youth of Montreal tonight, is my expectation. We're going to see the veteran team do exactly what the Oilers did to the Kings last night. Look, the Oilers didn't play very well, and Kemper was phenomenal, but they put their foot down on the Kings' throat and pressed down. And the the Capitals are going to do that to the Habs, to the young, small Habs, who have an enormously bright future. Enormously bright future. Long gone are the we don't even have it up here, I don't think. Let's see. Long gone are the days of the Habs being trash, and we don't even have it up here anymore. The fiery Habs. So you guys have a bright future, and it ends tonight, and it ends comfortably. The third period over should be looked at, depending on how the game goes. But I think it could be a very, I think a live over could be very nice as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there we go. Good night, Irene. Habs are done, and that's that. Let's move on to the next spot on the board here. Now, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning, Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. We got Bobrovsky and Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky has been good at times, not good enough. Bobrovsky, 902 save percentage, one shot. Both goalies have been good at times, probably not enough. The Florida special teams are the reason why they're up 3-1, 23.1% power play, 93.3% penalty killing. When you have numbers like that, like the numbers that the Habs have, you should be up 3-1 in a series. I mean, you're so far behind 5-on-5 if you're not. The Tampa Bay Lightning, 6.7 power play, 76.9% penalty killing. As you guys know, I have never done this before, but after studying it, there were 2 series that I wanted overtime in every game. I took overtime in every game of Dallas, Colorado. We're moving into game 6, and I've hit 2. It's been great. So, I'm up about 3.4 units there. But here I'm 0-4, and I gave you guys the wrong. For some reason, I thought I'd lost 5 overtimes in the series, but it's just 4. And I thought to myself, you know what? If I was so good at getting off, no, I don't know. Like, look, there's been days where Operation Garcia is still cashing, but I got off at the right point. Why don't I just get off here? And you know what? This is likely the last game of the series. I'll ride this out. Maybe it's not the smartest thing to do, as I've not cashed it yet. Let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Our total in this one is a 5.5. It's minus 110 to the over. There's been very slight move towards the under. Very slight. On the money line here, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning at minus 111. They opened up now minus 108. This is moving. They opened up at minus 124. I bet you this is moving back to this must be moving in the last 2 minutes, is what I'm being told. It just doesn't show up yet. So I guess it's minus 1, but still, there's been a real big move towards the Florida Panthers here. A Philly Eagle Flyer on the Lightning money line and under first period and full game. So here we go. Lightning were 4 minutes away from tying the series at 2. But there's a reason why the Panthers are the defending Stanley Cup champions. Aaron Ekblad shouldn't have been out there. He won't be out there tonight because of suspended, but he was still out there. And he tied it at 2 with 3 minutes and 47 seconds in the third period, which would have made you think, well, look, I'm going to cash this. I'm going to cash. BJ says, I also believe LA forced game 6, but look, he's not on at 5.5 to 6.5. And I can understand the uncomfort there. I'm not on either, but we'll talk about that. Thank you, BJ, for dropping by. AM says, can't back a team that had a meltdown like the Lightning did last game. Yeah. So when Aaron Ekblad scored, I thought, well, I'm going to get my overtime, But 11 seconds later, Seth Jones scores. Now, the Nico Mikkola major for boarding Gergensons, that was set up perfectly for the Lightning to take over the hockey game. They have no excuse. They're now 1 of 15 on the power play. They went 0-2. They didn't score. They got 1 shot on that 5-minute power. 1 shot on a 5-minute power play. You deserve to lose. We've all been in that situation gambling where your team gets a 5-minute major and you're like, oh, and they do nothing, and you know that they've lost all the momentum and you're screwed. Yeah. And that's what happened there. They scored the first goal of the series on their first power play of the series. And they're 0-14 since then. They're trying to avoid their 3rd straight first-round exit after making 3 straight Stanley Cup finals from 2020 to 2022. And Brandon Hagel, who put his shoulder through Barkov in game 3. And look, I thought Barkov had touched the puck too. It was a great hit, but
it was
5-minute major. The Panthers didn't score on that 5-minute major either. And now Hagel got hammered by Ekblad. And Hagel will not be in the lineup. We talked about Hagel a lot this year. 35 goals, 90 points. He played every single game. He broke the NHL record for most goals without a power play goal. in the regular season, 35 goals without a power play goal. He was a 5-on-5 monster. Vasilevsky, by the way, made his 113th consecutive postseason start. That passes Ken Dryden for 5th longest in Stanley Cup playoff history. The Game by Ken Dryden was the first great book I ever read in my life. That was 10 or 11. It was the first great book I ever got to read. And Ken Dryden, a very interesting man and intelligent dude. So no Aaron Ekblad. Anton Lundell continues to step up and give this Panthers team depth. That 23-year-old veteran, that's what he's become, a 23-year-old veteran. It's too bad that Oliver Bjorkstrand is out for the Lightning. It'd be nice to bring him in. Good God, do they need him? Nick Paul trying to play top 6 minutes, and we know he doesn't have the hands for it. I'm on overtime.
Ooh.
I would like to see the Lightning step up here, but I don't really expect it to. Spenny Penny Bombs is on Bennett goal at plus 250. Saturated, I shut down. I thought that was very clear. I shut down Operation Garcia on April 20th after I made 17.1 units, which wasn't, it turned out that wasn't 17.1 units because I went over the mistake I made, but we can go into that. So that was actually up 14 in a bit of units here, but take it away, Gogster, Panthers Lightning.
Yeah, I just think the lineup here for Tampa, it's not as deep as it used to be, guys. You got guys like Shafi here, Gerkenson's up there, and Atkinson, Radish, Gage Gonzalez on your second line there, and also Sorelli and Hedman weren't in the morning skate. They should be fine. That's what coach is saying. It should be fine. They actually called up a guy from the Syracuse Crunch, 2 defensemen. So I don't know if he's going to be out. If that could be the line move, if that's the case, Tampa's in deep trouble here. But at first, I was trying to take Tampa Bay, but I had to take it off the card. I would be leaning Florida in this game. Hagel out too. That's a key player for Tampa Bay to be missing. And Florida's good enough defensively to, they've been without Ekblad most of the season, so they should be fine in this game. More I'm thinking about, I do think Florida is the play. Didn't fire on that. I do think it'll be a lower scoring game. No goal first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, minus 105. Talking about those face-offs, guys. Defensive zone, 67%. Face-offs there for Tampa Bay, 61% for Florida, so much more accountable in their own zone there. Face-offs are very important, especially in the playoffs, time of possession. So not as much ice in this game, physical game. Tampa, like Jimmy said, has had no power play since the first game. So team total under on Tampa Bay feels alive as well. Kucherov can't do it on his own. I'm taking the no goal first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, minus 105, Jim. But yeah, if you guys like Florida, as a Toronto fan, I'd rather play Tampa right now, but I do think Florida get this one done tonight. Vasilevsky, he's been okay, but it looks like Hedman and Sorelli are pretty banged up. So I just think Florida's starting to shine at the right time.
I think that Toronto could beat this Tampa group the way it's kind of beaten up after playing Florida, but anybody who plays Florida kind of comes out.
We got to get Ottawa first at this rate. Jesus.
Abracadabra, I like that better. Really missing Killorn. Just my 2 cents in the house with the 199 dono. Thank you, Gorky. It's fun. I love capping with you, and it's fun to disagree as well. I couldn't disagree more with both of those takes. And I know Billy agreeing with you on the one take, but you couldn't sign Gensel and Stamkos. Did you see Stamkos went 19 games without a point this year? Come on, Gensel's elite. Absolutely spectacular forward. And then Hagel, what did he thought Barkov touched the puck. I thought Barkov touched the puck. He didn't hit him in the head. He put his shoulder through his chest.
And they were on the power play.
Phenomenal hockey player that every playoff team and a good team would want. He's an incredible hockey player, I believe. So
the other one with Tkachuk there. Tkachuk did one there down, like 4-4-1 in the game. That was a dirty one. They didn't call that. And I'm pretty sure Hagel there, they were on the power play when that happened. So it's not like he was trying to make a dirty play there being on the power play. So it just kind of sucks for Hagel. Then he got his bell rung there. Pretty dirty play too with the old high elbow by Ekblad. But yeah, physical series. The
High Owl says Kucherov scores. You'd have if you like the Lightning, I would take his over 1.5 points.
Yeah, he's got 4 assists, I think, this playoffs, I believe. So and Gorky says Nashville sucks in comparison to Tampa. So does the Pittsburgh Penguins. They suck compared to Tampa. What did Gensel do with the Pittsburgh Penguins? Put up 90 plus points? Was spectacular year after year with the shitty hockey team.
Whatever. It's all good. Big Show picks in the house. Our guys on the Locker Room Talk podcast, I don't know if you guys saw this, swept the board in UFC. Every single parlay cash. These guys are monsters. Let's get into our final game here on the board. Blues, Jets, Canada Life Center, Winnipeg, Manitoba. So, look, I always feel when I say look, I'm trying to fucking prove something. But here, you saw me not care what happened in the first two games in the Oilers LA Kings, because I've never seen this. I've never been in this situation gambling in my life where I have the two best players in the world, and McCarr and McKinnon are phenomenal, but I have the two best players in the world who have never won before. It's like being on the Bulls and Michael Jordan before he won his first NBA championship. I have an ace in my sleeve. The best defense. Now, Bouchard's phenomenally offensive, but Ekholm is not out there, and it doesn't matter because I have McDavid and Draisaitl hungrier than they'll ever be. So I didn't care. And you heard Chris Knobloch talk about, look, we've been through much more difficult things than this. Mm-hmm. And listen, I don't care that the Blues have won 14 straight games at the Enterprise Center. I don't care. They don't have home ice advantage. The Jets are the President Trophy winning team. If you guys think that Hellebuck is a mess right now, I disagree with that. I'm on the Jets -1 with confidence. Let's take a look at the line history here for this spot. We have the Jets right now are at -178. They opened up -168, 10-cent move towards them. The total 5.5. It's -135 to the under, which implies low volatility. The Philly Eagle Flyer on the Blues and over, or Jets and under. First period and full game draws. I've not seen anybody on the Jets. Now Steve G is. There's the first person I've seen on the Jets. Binnington is starting to step up. We knew he would. And I'm not going to sit back and pretend that Hellebuck is not capable of it. That Hellebuck is shook or any of that. Mm-hmm. I know he's not really proven it in the playoffs. I get it. Dabby Cab, thank you. On Medicaid Mondays, gave the Stars on a Monday and the Oilers on Tuesday. Cash.
Let's go, Dab.
Wager Detective says Hellebuck is trash. Wager Detective, I almost want to not allow you to say anything about hockey ever again, because he's about to win his third Vezina Trophy winner, which means he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I can let that slide. I mean, that's beyond ignorant to the world of stupid. We have Winnipeg's power play at 28.9% in the regular season. This series has not been very good, 16.7%. Mm-hmm. We have Winnipeg's penalty killing as poor as well, 66.7%. The special teams have not been, very good, and it's been a problem. Neighbors had a goal and 2 assists. Shen had a goal and assist, 5-1 win. If you're sitting there going, look, the Jets won 2 very close games at home. Kyle Connor won in the third period, and the Blues destroyed the Jets at home. That's valid. That's all valid. In the 2 games at home, the big difference was the Jets took over in the third period at home. The Blues just completely won the whole game. They outscored the President's Champions 12-3 in St. Louis. You think that hasn't gotten their attention? And look, Hellebuck allowed 5 goals on 18 shots, pulled for the second straight game. We've seen goalies have this sort of Jekyll and Hyde situation. We've seen it. So he allowed 5 goals 3 times in 62 regular season games. It's happened twice in a row. It's happened twice in a row. Look, he won the Vezina in 2020. He won the Vezina in 2024. He's going to win the Vezina in 2025. Mm-hmm. He led the NHL in wins. He led the NHL in goals against average. He led the NHL in shutouts. Gabe Velarde's close to coming back. Logan Stanley was scratched for Hayden Fleury. Like, I think you want 6'7" Logan Stanley in the lineup, but Arneal said that he's hurt. He's banged up. Dylan DeMello was sick in game 3. He's back. He's feeling healthy. I think the Jets -1 is, go get paid type situation. Take it away, Gogster. Our final game on the board, Blues, Jets.
Yeah, I think you might like this, Jim. Gabe Velarde, too. He's in the lineup, starting on the first line, looks like Connor and Scheifele. So they got the addition of him. Ehlers is still out, but got to like that going forward for this team. I still think this is going to be a tight series. This is the game, guys, I think will be OT. I'm doubling down to, I'm taking first period draw +160. I'm taking OT +320. Just been a tight series. Both teams don't really look like they have each other figured out. Goaltending, I do think Hellebuck does look better, because he hasn't looked good in the playoffs, really even dating back. But the Blues, there's the two teams that I think are neck and neck. But the second period, I have here the Jets haven't scored in the second period. I mean, I got to double check that stat. But in the playoffs here, I have 4-0 Blues and 0 for the Jets. So the Jets kind of got to play a little better 60 minutes, I think. I do think they will at home here, the whiteout, getting Velarde back. This is game 5, big game too. Can't go down 3-2 back to St. Louis. I think it'll be a tight game, guys. One of these should hit. Draw first period or overtime. +320 on overtime. Juicy too.
And what do you get on the first period draw?
+160.
+160. I think the Jets in the Capitals should probably be parlayed on the money line.
I don't mind.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to add that. I'm going to add that to my action. Jets, Caps, money line parlay.
I think Florida wins too.
That'll be the final spot here. AM says, I've been pretty surprised that the Jets haven't dominated the series. The Blues could objectively be up 3-1. They could have swept it. Yeah. This would be a Jet spot to show up and pour it on early. I agree with that. I just think that this is the time. Look, the Blues have won 14 straight at home. Monty's pressing all the right buttons. The Blues have a bright future. This is no disrespect to the St. Louis Blues. It's just, are you wondering if the President's Trophy winning Jets are going to step up at home in game 5 of a series that they've been largely outplayed for? And my answer is yes, they will. That's my answer. So there we go. That is the National Hockey League for Wednesday, April 30th. Gogster has first period, both teams to score at +160, both teams to score 3 at +190 in Montreal, Washington. I'm on the Capitals on the -1 line. In game 2, Gogster's no goal first 9.5 minutes at -105. And I have overtime. And again, look, I had a plan and I'm going to stick to it. With the overtimes, it's been very successful in Dallas, Colorado. There's still a chance it can be successful in the end. I tell you, the best feeling I have today is that they're not both playing, so I don't have to have 2 overtime bets, because they are full unit bets, and it's not.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy it at all. I hate it. I don't know if I do it again. Gogster has overtime at +320 for St. Louis. Winnipeg first period draw. I have Winnipeg on the -1 line, and I'm going to add Winnipeg, Washington moneyline parlay, which I should probably get in while the show's going on. I understand that this line hasn't moved heavily towards these favorites, but I think it should. Mr. Gogster, I think you wanted to add some AHL action or some golf action. The floor is yours, my friend, and thank you for all your hard work.
Jimmy, thanks for having me on as always, buddy. I'm going to be quick here, guys. AHL, they've called up Caden Primo because of the injury with Montembeault. So the AHL, Laval and Cleveland. I know Slatchy's not going to like this one, but our guy Ick will. I think Cleveland's got a good shot here. It could be Jacob Fowler, who they called up from BC. He's had 3 starts for Laval. He could be starting tonight, or Connor Hughes, but their bell cow has been Caden Primo. They're 21-2 with this guy, but he's not even on the team right now. Got called up to Montreal. So I think Cleveland here, they've also played a series against Toronto. They beat Toronto. They're the Marlies. And Laval hasn't been playing a little while. I think Cleveland's going to be able to win this first game. So I doubled down first period. Cleveland Monsters +115, and then full game, guys, money line +115. Jet Greaves for the Cleveland Monsters, the goalie, has also been playing really well. Wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland could even surprise this team in the series. So that's some AHL. Quickly, some golf here. We're going to down to Texas here for the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, Jim. I got some plays here. Let me just bring up the spreadsheet really quickly. We hit actually 2 in a row, though. Last week we had Novak and Griffin. Week before that we had Justin Thomas. So I'll give you guys some outrights here from the old book of knowledge I have here for golf. We are looking at, sorry for the delay, Sung Jae Im 24-1, Steven Yeager 40-1, and then old Harry Hall 85-1 at the CJ Cup this week, guys. So as always, Jim, thanks for having me on. I look forward to next Wednesday. Hopefully we can cash some tickets here tonight, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for having me on, buddy.
You're the man, Gogster. Love rocking with you. There he is, Mr. Gogster. Last note on that St. Louis series. Spenny saying, does this series not feel like Edmonton and King? St. Louis kind of taking over. Says, I know it was at home, but he wouldn't be surprised to see the Blues win. Look, we see this happen in the playoffs all the time. You know, teams fight back in games 3 and 4 at home. The difference for me, and there's a huge difference for me, Spenny. And look, the Blues could win this game. I could easily be wrong. You know, that's just part of capping, right? But the difference for me is that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will have a picture of them at some point in their careers holding the Stanley Cup over their heads. We know that. We know that. They've not won yet. It's the great, you know, I was watching the Oilers play yesterday, and I was watching the blue and orange, who I've despised my whole life. I taught to despise them, and now I'm on them, and I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Have the best 2 players on the ice, you know, as a dog. Come on, plus 900 to win 4-2, plus 600 to win 4-3. Do you imagine Braden Shen holding the Stanley Cup over his head? You know, when you go, I mean, is Jordan Kyrou, you know, hold the Stanley Cup over his head? What the Blues have done, they got hot at home. God bless them. You could say that the Jets are vulnerable. They've never won in the playoffs. They've never, you know, Hellebuck's not looked good in the playoffs. You could say all those things, sure. But in the most important moments, the cream rises to the top. The best players step up. Game 5 at home with the series tied 2-2. President's Trophy winning Winnipeg Jets, who just got dismantled by the Blues in 2 games at the Enterprise Center. I mean, this is a wheelhouse type situation. So, but I hear what you're saying, and I could, you know, again, like, it can be wrong, and be right. Billy Friedrich says, I cashed my Edmonton plus 1.5 games. Should rock with you, Jimmy. No, Billy, I loved it. Billy, you got me this. You did this, Billy. You got me this great, glorious opportunity here. You know, and we all need an extra 4.4K. You know, it won't be quite as much if they win in 7. But you got me this, because I sat there with your plus 1.5 for 4 hours. And you know who I was texting back and forth? It's funny. That afternoon for hours about the bet. It was TJ. You know, I was texting him back and forth, trying to figure out what is the right way to handle this. Because I could have just taken the Oilers to win the series. Remember, that was plus 350. But I sat there for 4 hours deciding it. It's you, Billy. And it's not the first time you've got me cash. It's not the first time you've led me. You've helped enormously. And hopefully someday I can buy you several beverages because it's not the first time you've, you know, put cash in my pocket, and I'll be forever thankful. It's time to get into Major League Baseball. Next up is Major League Baseball. We have capped game 1. We're about to cap the rest of the card. Please welcome from our studio, our home studio, our home base in San Antonio, Texas, at the Southtown 101, our friend, Mr. Jose Bouquet, to the program. Jose, how are you?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. Excuse me. A good day yesterday. Can't complain. I should have been on the I wish I could have bet the Cardinals in that first game with you guys. That late market move would have gotten me there with all the money and bets on the Reds, but no action here for me on that game, and I'm excited to talk about the rest of this card. I've got actually 2 bets already in, which is pretty rare.
I have 4 bets in, which is also rare. Yes. Now I doubled up on 2 spots, and
I was about to say, I bet you they're on the unders in the Rays game, right?
But I was late. I was so caught up.
Same.
I was so caught up in betting. It wasn't available last night for me.
Yep.
I couldn't bet it. I waited till 1 a.m. I couldn't bet it. And then when I woke up at 5:30 this morning like this. Like, I woke up like I was so fucking pumped up, and all I could think about was hockey. Even sweeping the board in basketball, like, all I could think about, I just couldn't get my head. Like I was like, and then I finished capping the entire card. I set it all up, and I was like, oh shit! And it just moved from 8.5 to 8, and I was like,
Yeah, I have the 8 as well, but yeah.
Mr. Belvedere adding the Tigers plus 110 and the Orioles here. We got Chill Will in the house, and there is no capper on our show beating baseball the way our special guest today is. So without further ado, you already heard him cap that first game. He's coming off a 7-2 day. He's hitting 62.3% over 53 bets. Please welcome back Wine Time Sports to the telecast. Wine Time, you ready to get back to work, my friend?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready to get to it, man. Jose, good to see you, my friend. Big card today, guys. We got baseball on today during the day. I love that, man. It's going on right now, but I got action this first game coming up. That's currently still on the board, so I'm ready to get to it.
Well, let's do exactly that, fellas. We have 2:10 p.m. Eastern action. The Detroit Tigers 18-12, 5-9 on the road at the Houston Astros 16-13, 11-6 at Daikin Park. I hate that name. Jackson Jobe. What a pitcher it looks like the Tigers have on their hands. What a group of young pitchers they have. Jackson Jobe's looked very good so far this year. Let's get the lineups up here because the splits are interesting with Jackson Jobe. He's been very good. We also have AJ Blubaugh, who I've been learning about. I didn't know much about him. 7th round pick in the 2022 draft out of Whiskey, University of Wisconsin. And he has looked good in AAA. Just good. Now, I guess that's not fair to say because it's the Pacific Coast League, and we know how offensive Pacific Coast League is. So I guess he's probably looked better than good. Let's say he's looked really good. So far this year, he's made 4 starts, 1 bullpen appearance. That was a game that he closed, and he earned the save for. So they think highly of him. He's 2-2 with a 3.86 ERA, 1.38 WHIP. Last year in Sugarland, he made 25 starts, 27 appearances, and he was, quite good. 3.83 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. So very, very similar numbers. He is a very consistent young pitcher. Shout out to Lex Steele in the house. He's coming to us from far away, our guy Lex Steele. South Africa, right? South Africa, I believe. Lex Steele, thank you, my man, for the $4.99 dono to bless our action. We have AM here on Tigers Astros. We have Mr. Belvedere on the Tigers. We have, and I believe was that -1? I've got to check that out again. We have Justin McKelvey on the Detroit Tigers as well. Although those aren't the stacks plays of the day, which we will discuss here. So let's go. We've talked about Blubaugh. Jackson Jobe is shutting down all left-handed pitching. 182, 566 OPS, and these righties aren't getting much. 222, 687, but it feels like righties have a chance. His K to walk ratio is weak, but he's. Oh, you're back in the USA. Okay, dope, Lex. I know that you were in South Africa there for a while. We have 14 Ks, 10 walks for Jackson Jobe, but he's just not getting barreled. Tigers are hitting 240, 710 versus righties. Astros are hitting just 238, 658 OPS versus righties. And both bullpens have been so good. So it's no surprise here, that AM is on the under 8.5. Let's take a look at the line history here, and then we'll hand it over to Wine Time, as we know he's got a bet on the game. Let's move over here. So we've heard, just Detroit only. I have not heard any Astros action. We have the Houston Astros right now sitting at -119. He opened up at -117, so a 2-cent move towards the Astros. From a total perspective here, we have an 8. It's -110 to the over, but this was an 8.5. It's funny. You sit and you talk something out, and it changes the way you view it. I was only on the Senators because we talked out all the stats about the Leafs in crunch time. I thought maybe I'd be on them, but after we talked it out, I was like, oh, God, I got to bet them. Here, talking it out, I bet Blubaugh does the job. I bet he does the job against the Tigers team that's hitting righties okay, decent with no power. And I think Jackson Jobe can get through these Astros as well. We know these bullpens are great. It's an afternoon game. I can see the under's appeal. Take it away for us, Wine Time, Tigers, Astros.
Yeah, we might go head to head on this one, Jim. I'm on the Tigers here in this spot. I think they're going to avoid the sweep here. Houston's gotten them the last 2 games here. Houston playing some good baseball last couple of weeks. I mean, Detroit's what a start for them here, being 18-12. Had no idea that they were going to have this hot of a start. And shout out to my guy Sweaty Butcher right there. But yeah, Detroit having a good start here. I think they're going to avoid a sweep here. I'm going to expect that Jackson could go out there and pitch well, and that they could hit Blue Bach, honestly. Earlier, before I came on the show, the Astros were minus 133 on my book, and I just refreshed it. Before I got on, it was a minus. Let me pull it up right here really quick. Apologies. Right now, they are minus 118. And they're like a minus 133 right before I came on. So it has been some movement back towards the Tigers. It's kind of been going back and forth here, I guess. I'm going to move on the Tigers here. I haven't moved on it officially on Twitter. So I'm going to give you the number I can get right now, plus 108. I think the Tigers get it done here. I like this baseball team. I don't think they're going to go down here. Lose 3 straight to the Astros. Astros have been playing a lot better baseball. Jose Altuve, I believe he moved to the 2-hole now. He's not hitting leadoff now. He's not even playing left field today. He's actually DHing. Astros got a good team. Isaac Paredes, really good third baseman over there. That was a good acquisition that they got in the offseason. Christian Walker's starting to get it together. He's coming off that injury and had a really slow start. But I just like this Tigers team. I backed them in certain spots this year, and I've been paid in certain spots backing them. I just think this is a spot where they're going to come together here. They're going to avoid losing 3 games straight to the Astros. They take care of business. So I'm the Detroit Tigers plus 108. I'm going to tweet it out right now. It's going to be my first game. I actually tweet out. This is really crazy for me to come on here without any action tweeted out. So all my action that I make today will be tweeted as I go. So give me the Tigers plus 108 on the money line.
Tigers plus 108. Justin McKelvey doesn't think Jordan is in the lineup. Let's just take a quick look at the lineups and see if we got some confirmed lineups before Mr. Bouquet takes over. So let me just hit this.
Yeah, he's out. He's out, Jim. He's not in the starting lineup.
Interesting. So I think that was probably the move we're discussing here. Sure. I don't know. Okay, first off, the Tigers lineup, I still question. No Torkelson. I question it. Spooner says Blue Balls' last 2 starts combined for 8 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned, 7 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 1 home run. When I've been, I like the home start. I like it against this Tigers team that doesn't scare me offensively too much. But then I'd be comfortable enough not taking the first 3 under, not taking the first 3 under and then just taking the full game under, because I was leaning towards doubling down on unders here. Yeah. Spooner says, why are the Astros calling this kid up? It's because you look at the Astros pitching staff, you see they're projected 3, 4, 5, and 6 are on the injured list. No, I hear that, but this guy is consistent. He's not coming off. He does the same thing every year, and now he's got a home start against the Tigers in the afternoon. Jose, when you touch on this, please touch on the bullpen fatigue as well.
Sure. I'll start with that, actually, because I'm a little worried about the Astros bullpen. That is it's not, I guess, the main factor why I haven't moved on the Astros, but yeah, it's a big one for me. Hader, back-to-back days, 14, 16 pitches, probably not going to go today. Taylor Scott, 15. Bennett Souza, 26 pitches. And Brian Abreu went back-to-back, and he's on the paternity list apparently as well. That leaves Brian King, Caleb Ort, and Steven Okert have not pitched yesterday. The Astros do have an off day. I looked that up to see. I was like, okay, is Hader really going to go 3 days in a row? He's thrown 30 pitches, so it's not like it's too excessive, but I don't know. I doubt he goes. And Brian Abreu, your other guy, seemingly going to go according to RotoWire on the paternity list. I haven't done more research into it. So that worries me on the Astros side. Tigers on the other side here, Maeda, Will Vest, and Chase Lee, all going to be unavailable today. Chase Lee threw back-to-back days on Monday and Tuesday, which leaves Sean Gunther, Brendan Hannafy, Tyler Holton, Tommy Canley, and Brand Herter all available today. So Tigers pretty well equipped. Now, I did ask my guy about a scouting report on AJ Blue Balls here, and I was told that he is disgusting. He said he threw 98, but I was like, he throws 98. He's like, well, he sits at 94, 95. I was like, okay, well, whatever. Banger of a curveball, and he's not a nervy guy either. He's the side dude said he'd bet on him. He's 6'3" with good extension. And I trust him. And I'm going to believe in AJ Blue Balls here. Now, I was sitting here just kind of back and forth thinking, am I going to take an under? I can't take a first 5 under. I don't want to trust the Astros bullpen. And I kind of want to bet the Astros. Market in this game, I'll tell you guys right now, 62% of the bets, 65% of the money on Detroit, 76% of the tickets, and 93% of the money on the under in this game. Wow. And it does make me feel better that it has gone from an 8.5 to an 8. So I'm honestly just battling here between, do I take the Astros? Do I take the under? I'm going to move on this game and trust them, though.
But before you press a button, the move to the half run move to the under has nothing to do with the action. It has to do with no Jordan and no Torkelson with the lineups being announced.
Yeah.
That's my belief. I don't think it has anything to do with any kind of sharp action or anything like that. It's simply taking 2 big bats out of each lineup. But continue.
Yeah, no, that was it. I trust in Blue Balls here. And I think that he'll get the job done and pitch well. But the Astros bullpen is the main concern for me.
Spooner says, Jimmy, he's not consistent. He's a converted reliever. I mean, last year he had the 27 starts or whatever it was, but I hear you. He says, this is just his 3rd year as a baseball player trying to be a starter. His velocity is down 5 miles per hour. I don't think he can control his pitches. Well, and Wade Tech said not travel day for the Astros. Jose talked about that as well. I'm going to let this one go. I think there's enough unknown here, but I imagine that Jackson Jobe looks good enough here. I like him. I think he's a really good young pitcher. I mean, that's all Detroit has are good young pitchers. It feels like right now. Hyde's got a real gift here. Just to touch on Jobe's starts. His first start was at Seattle. He got touched for 2 home runs. Then he went and faced the White Sox at home, and he got touched up there. He went to Minnesota when they were not hitting, and he shut them down. And then he had the Royals at home, and they're not hitting. Now the Astros, don't have Jordan in the lineup as well.
Nor are they really hitting either.
So I'm going to stay off, unfortunately. I'm going to have to stay off of the spot. So nothing official. Wine time on the Tigers plus 108, and I'm now off this game, which was not what I wanted to do. Jose, are you still formulating a plan?
Yeah, but I will probably end up staying off as well. Like I say, if I'm battling so much about what bet I want, I typically should just stay off. So I'll sit here and think about it and let anyone know if I make a bet. But I think old Blue Balls here is going to be a decent pitcher. So we'll see what happens.
Let's roll on. 3:10 p.m. Eastern is our next spot on the board here. Jose will be getting us started. We'll go back and forth, and I'll make a note as to who starts each one. Braves, Rockies at Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. We have confirmed the lineups as well for the Rockies. God, they're just what? I mean, these lineups are so strange. They've actually they have a payroll. It's not like they're the Athletics or any of these teams that's not trying to spend any money. So it just adds another level to how terrible they are. Doyle, Beck, McMahon, Goodman DHing, Toglia at first, Bouchard, Stallings, Trejo, and Amador at second, turning the lineup over. The Braves have Harris, Riley, Ozuna, Olsen, Albies, Eli White in left field, Baldwin catching for Sale, and then Nick Allen at short and Rosario over in right field. And Slaughter saying Jordan hasn't done shit this season anyways. Here we have Stacks play today number 1. And one thing that we've seen from Stacks is that he's heating up. This line here has moved back to a 10, which really surprises me. Now, it should be said that this opened up 10.5 quite juiced to the under, but Stacks play today. And this, I had the same read as him on this one. I was just waiting to get some sort of a sign from the books, and I don't feel like we got it. Now, let me also say, you guys know that I think that Chase Dollander is going to be a good pitcher. I don't think we have a sample size to prove it. A lot of you guys wrote off Emerson Hancock, who's pitching today, because he had a bad inning. One bad inning and multiple people calling him trash. Here, Dollander, I think, has a chance to be a decent pitcher in this league. And we'll go into him a little bit, but first, let's shout out our guy, Justin McKelvey.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
I mean, it's easy for me to say I think it's going to be his ninth overall pick in the 2023 draft. There's very, very high hopes for this kid out of Knoxville, University of Tennessee. This year in Albuquerque, he only made the one start. So, I mean, we've seen him in 19 and a third, and he's getting hit hard. I mean, there's no other, I mean, he's coming off a 6-2 loss at the Royals. They touched him for 5 earned runs. He's got a 1.71 whip. He does have 21 Ks in 19 and third. The problem is he's been taking yard 8 times. So lefties are hitting 342 with a 1.132 OPS against them. Righties are hitting 302 with a 929 OPS. I mean, they're getting to him. The interesting stats here between Dollander and Sales, Dollander's not getting hit that much harder than Chris Sale. Lefties are hitting Sale 292 with an 875 OPS. Righties are hitting 305 with an 846 OPS. Now he's coming off a nice start at Arizona. Jose told us that he was planning on fading Sale this year, and it's been very rewarding. Robert Franklin saying Sale has never pitched in Colorado. That's another thing that Jose talks about often. Braves versus righties, 259, 746 OPS. They're hitting hard. Their bullpen looks very strong right now. Their numbers are down to 4.04 ERA, 1.21 whip. We knew how elevated they were. Rockies versus lefties is 206, 619 OPS. Rockies team total over 4.5 at plus 170. What an interesting look. AM is on the under 10 here. The Rockies bullpen has a 3.86 ERA, but a 1.48 whip. They've been fortunate. Balls have been hit at fielders. We've talked about the lineups. We've talked about the total that dropped a half run from 10.5 to 10. And we have 2 runners on for the Cardinals in the top of the third with no out. From a money line standpoint here, we have Chris Sale down to -2. Well, not down, but -262. I say down because this got up to -274. It opened at 238, so it's still being a real legit move, towards the Braves. But we've seen buyback. We saw buyback in Reds Cardinals, and Cardinals are seemingly in control at this point. Cash flow wise, here we'll let Jose hit it as we no longer have any faith in the numbers that I'm looking at. I will tell you they have 71% of the tickets, 69% cash on the over in 93 and 94. On the Atlanta Braves.
When are you going to make the switch?
Sorry?
When are you going to make the switch?
Soon. I need to have comfort with these things. Right now it's a very busy time of year with all the action, and I've got now with the Derby too. I'm like, should I navigate this site or study the Kentucky Derby? So I will get there. I promise I'll get there. I'm in such a rush and I'm not sleeping. I don't have my coffee, my Vietnamese coffee that I need for power. So I'm going to go grab that. I'll be right back, but I'll be listening. Braves, Rockies, Coors Field in Denver, Colorado. The one thing I didn't do, and I apologize, I didn't give you guys the weather information here. Weather-wise, 67 Fahrenheit, feels like 59, 6.3 miles per hour right to left and slightly in, but it becomes more in until after 2 hours, it's straight in. I will be right back, fellas. Let's hear from Jose Bouquet, Braves, Rockies.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty tough game. I was immediately interested in that team total over 3.5, and Fernando Mendoza mentioning that I was -125 earlier. Now it's -108. That's tough. And that would make me lean under with you guys as well, Fernando and AM. as well. Market in this game. Let's check it out. Where are we looking at here? 89% of the tickets, 92% of the money on the Atlanta Braves here. 56% of the bets, 63% of the money on the under in this game here as well. So that's fascinating. It's gone up from minus 230 from other places to minus 260. And it's just kind of going down. So I'd lean under with you guys. But I was very interested in that Rockies team total over 3.5, thinking that Sale could be punished here. You guys are right. He hasn't had a start in Coors, but he pitched as a reliever in Coors twice in 2011, 1 innings and 2 innings. So I still agree with you guys that doesn't really count still. So I'll be interested to see how the weather affects him, how all that affects him. I lean against him here, but I didn't move on anything official. What do you think here, Wine?
Yeah, interesting game right here. I mean, Colorado Rockies, Jose. I mean, this is by far the worst team in baseball, man. Worst team I've seen in quite some time. They do not win ball games, and it seems like when you look at the market, it's always moving in their direction. You're getting all these fishy lines with them. Just don't move on them. It's that simple. Just don't back this team. Fade them if anything. But I've got a nice little parlay here that I just parlayed up, and this is going to be the first leg of it. The Atlanta Braves money line, I think they're going to get it done here. It's going to be parlayed with the next game we have coming up here. But, I mean, this Rockies team, I'm going to dare them to win a game here. The Atlanta Braves started off really cold this season. What were they? Didn't 0-7, 0-8 to start. Now here they are, 1 game under 500, at where we thought they probably would be. This lineup is good. And this is going to be a dangerous team going forward, I think. And Rockies – this is just it's a bad baseball team, guys. It's a very bad baseball team. So I'm going to take the Atlanta Braves on the money line here in the first leg of a parlay to get us started here. Yeah.
Jose, did you move on something?
No, I was close to moving on Rockies team total over 3.5. Our guy Fernando said in the chat that it was minus 125 this morning, now minus 108. So I'm very concerned about that, and that is what kept me off of it. So I ended up leaning under with you guys because if the Rockies aren't going to score over 3.5 runs, I don't know if you're going to rely on the Braves to score the 7 for the over here. So I'd lean under. I shout out to you, AM, as well. But yeah, no action for me here.
That last outing from Chase Dollander. I mean, I don't want to try and catch a falling knife with him, which I feel is sort of like, what I'm doing here. Just quickly, let's just look at what Dollander did. He got through India in that bottom of the first, struck out Witt, and took out Pasquantino. And I remember sitting there thinking, I was right about Dollander. Perez then doubles to start out the second. Gets Garcia out, but Perez goes to third. Massey hits a sac fly. Kanye reached on an infield single, and then he got Waters to fly out. Then Furman singled. India walked. Fielder's choice, and Pasquantino singled. He got through the 4th inning comfortably, and had 2 out. It was 2-0 in this game in the bottom of the 5th, and then India doubled, Witt singled, Pasquantino walked. Perez doubled. And I know that we don't want to look. I guess I'm gonna have to stay off. I do feel like this would be one of the spots though where, generally speaking, when you have pitchers with a smaller sample size and very heightened numbers, and then you see the total drop, it's generally a sign that the market expects them to pitch better than their numbers have indicated thus far. I think it's fair to say that the under is probably live. In saying that, I don't really want to test Dollander and test this. And it was the 5th inning that he got touched up. And I would have lost that, Jose. I would have lost the first 5 under.
Of course.
I would have lost it with 2 out in the 5th inning had I bet it. And I was beating myself for not being on the first 3 under because that did cash. But
I'm going to try to make it a point on our Sunday Night Baseball live streams, and shout out to the Sunday Night Baseball live streams. If you're not watching them, you should be. Whole lot of fun. cash in easy live bets as well. But Sunday night, fifth inning rolls around. I try to bet run in the fifth inning every time because I know the fifth inning is the devil.
Can you track that too?
Yeah, 0-1 so far. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Well, we know that it's the first leg of a Major League Baseball parlay. There's certain times where I sit here and I think, God, I'm so lucky that this is what I get to do every day. And I just had that kind of wave over me right now. Wednesday at 1:18 p.m. and we get to cap the entire baseball card. I mean, how lucky are we? Let's go get this fucking money, man. Next up for us, 3:10 p.m. Eastern with the Miami Marlins, 12-17, 4-9 on the road at the LA Dodgers, 20-10, 14-3 at home. We have Port Dopes, Cal Quantrill on the hill here, and I don't know really what to do with them. Righties, Jose, against Cal Quantrill this year, hitting .444 with a 1.225 OPS.
That's tough.
Yeah,
that's not what you want.
That's not.
But those are righties, though, right?
That's righties. Lex Steele says Sunday at what a time. We are really excited about our Sunday night live show, and I'm going to be joining it very soon as well in capping the Cinnaboy card, Winnipeg Thoroughbred late night racing while the game's on. So we're going to be doing that all together here soon.
And it'll be around it's 30 minutes before the game starts. The game starts at 6 Central, so 6:30 Lex Steele Eastern time. See, I'm not a good math guy, Lex. Sorry.
All right. Well, let's take a look at these lineups here because we have from Sir Mackey, a Matt Mervis home run. He is batting 7th, batting left. Mervis is batting a left. And what the hell are we going to get from Tony Gonsolin? It's not pitched in Major League Baseball since 2023. Began the season on the injured list due to a back injury. He's been prepping for a return since early April. 4 appearances at AAA Oklahoma City. He's looked really good. 3.21 ERA, 1.29 whip, 16 strikeouts, 6 walks over 14 innings. His longest outing, 5 innings, 79 pitch start. That was a week ago on Wednesday. Cal Quantrill, as righties are, destroying him. Ohtani's a lefty. Max Muncy, Conforto, Freddie Freeman.
Yep.
But Teo Hernandez is a righty. That guy, God, I cannot fucking believe that he was a Blue Jay and we could have had him for probably, 20 a year? We could have had him forever. A clutch guy like Teoscar Hernandez, but Atkins is such an ass clown that he doesn't understand what he has. And same with the Mariners. Say what, my man?
You have Vladdy's fat ass, though.
Thank God. Need something to cheer for. Fuck. Marlins first righties 241, 683 OPS. Dodgers first righties 257, 791 OPS. The Marlins bullpen is a problem. 4.73 ERA, 1.52 whip. Dodgers bullpen has started to pitch well again. They had a little hiccup there when they went out on the road. 3.52 ERA, 1.20 whip. It's a very, early start on a travel day in Los Angeles. Let's take a look at the weather. 69 Fahrenheit, feels like 66, 6.3 miles per hour to left center. And when we get to the cash flow here, we have the Dodgers are minus 310. They open up at minus 280, so there's been 30 cents of movement towards the Dodgers. When we get to the total here for this one, we have a 9.5 now. 9.5. This opened up at 9.5, but we saw it go up to 10 multiple times, and it was 10 when the show started. We're now back at 9.5. That still means 13 cents of cash on the over. Wine time, take it away. Marlins, Dodgers.
Yeah, this is the second leg of a 2-leg parlay that I'm going to give you guys. Dodgers money line here. Got it at minus 135. It's a little juicy, but I just think both these big favorites going to get it done here. High total here at 9.5. I think the Dodgers are going to absolutely rip off here. Their team total right now is sitting at, 6.5? Let me just pull that up. Interesting enough, that's why I kind of wanted to parlay the Braves and the Dodgers today, because both of their team totals extremely high. And let's see what it is right now. Over 5.5, minus 150. So it's pretty much over 6.5. for probably around -110, I'm guessing, but my book's giving me that under 5.5 at +120. I think the Dodgers are going to absolutely crush these guys today. I don't know. I've been backing this Dodgers team in live spots when they've been down this year, and they've actually been pretty profitable. They've got so many bats in this lineup, well, especially 1 through 4, but I'm going to trust the Dodgers to take care of business here against these Miami Marlins. Dodgers don't have their lineup posted, I believe, right now, which I'm a little surprised at.
No, we got it. We got it up.
Is it posted yet?
Yeah. Otani at leadoff. I gave you guys the lefties righties, but I didn't go. Otani, Betts, Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez is the starting 4. You got Padges, Muncy, Hernandez, Conforto, and Barnes.
I like it. I'm going to roll with the Dodgers here. I think these two teams are going to crush these guys. You could probably take both these teams on the run lines today too, and they're going to take care of business. So yeah, I'm going to parlay these two on the money line -135. I think that's easy money. Honestly, it is really juicy. You're going to have to pay up for some juice here, but I think it's worth it. I usually don't give out a juicy play like this, but in a play like this, I like it. So I'm going to take it.
Interesting that it's come back from 10 to 9, or back to 9.5 from 10. AM bullish on the over, and I can understand why. There's our guy Joe Tadero in the house, part of that Locker Room Talk podcast that swept the board last week in UFC Kansas City. Jose, take it away. Marlins Dodgers.
Yeah, I see all the juice boys coming out. Wine Time's a juice boy today. Troy Torrance is a juice boy. We all know that. Fuck the Dodgers. How about that? Fuck all you -300 bettors. Fuck them. +280 Miami Marlins full game money line, -300 fade. I saw Spoons put in the chat that the Marlins are 3-1 on a travel road day or whatever the fuck. Doesn't matter. We fade all these -300 teams. Tony Gonsolin's first start back. Great. Even better for me to fade him. So I am on a Miami Marlin, and let's hope that maybe Cal Quantrill can give up only a 300 batting average against righties. Would that be nice instead of 400? That'd be nice. Maybe making every batter that's right-handed Ted Williams. But I am again on the Marlins here. And yes, Troy, fuck your cash cow.
Wow. Harsh. Ted Williams never hit 444, though.
That is true.
We have the UFC planted flag bet from our Joe Tadero, Gaston Bolanos, and likes him by KO as well. Troy using Cubs first 5 and Dodgers money line together. I guess I stay off. It's funny, depending on what books you look at. I told you that this line had gone up, at the site that I use for the line shopping, but the site that came to the market first has this moving 15 cents towards the under. I can understand AM's bullishness here, but I'm not going to hammer, on a travel day. Chain Kim in the house. One best bet for you guys to parlay and put it with Wine Times Dodgers -1.5 and Braves money line. I think you should put both the Capitals and the Jets on it.
There you go. By the way, Jimmy, you know what's the fishy thing in this game?
What's that?
Rockies team total. We talked about it. 3.5 -115 -108, wherever you guys were getting it at. Marlins team total over 3.5 here, -120. Very interesting. Obviously, Rockies are at home and Coors. Very interesting.
I kind of like that Rockies team total.
That made me feel like that Rockies team total was a trap. And if I had more balls, I would bet the under at this point.
All right. Let's roll on. Look, I don't need to get in another monologue about Emerson Hancock and the you guys calling him the 6th overall draft pick trash because he had a bad inning to start the season. He's coming off an 8-5 win at the Red Sox at Fenway Park. He went 6 innings, quality start, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks, and 2 walks. He's had 1 bad inning this year. Tyler Anderson, though, I wonder if this is an opportunity to fade him. I really do. I wonder if this is an opportunity to to fade Tyler Anderson. AM says, see Hancock bet the over. Yeah, you were very fortunate that the bullpens shit the bed. Saturate, I'm not going to bet the Capitals Jets parlay for fun. You guys are all wrong. You guys are all fucking wrong. Judging a pitcher who's 6th overall pick on one bad fucking inning. But we don't need to get in that shit. I wonder if Tyler Anderson is vulnerable, though. Lefties are hitting 348 with a 1.357 OPS against them. And, you know, Wine Time knows Tyler Anderson better than all of us. So we'll hear from him. But he had reverse splits last year as well. You know, just not as dramatic. So lefties are absolutely annihilating him. And Sir Mackey on the Mariners -1. I thought maybe this was the right opportunity to fade Tyler Anderson. But then in my head, I'd been watching the Mariners hit so much better over the last little while, but it's against righties. Against lefties, the Mariners are hitting 224, 682 OPS. Tyler Anderson's last start was against the Pirates. I mean, you watched it in person. Oh, no, you didn't watch the Anderson start. Sorry, that was who did you watch again?
I will let you guys know real quick what you guys think about that. From the 15th to today, Seattle Mariners 150 weighted runs created plus in against lefties and 126 plate appearances. If you want to do the full math, full month against lefties, 119 weighted runs created plus against lefties, 5th best.
Wow. Okay. Because they have a 682 OPS, but they're only hitting 224 overall. I guess it's almost time for me to cut it down because this is season long. And do I really need the first week or two of April? I don't think I do. Okay, so let's get into this one here. Let's go into the line history. First off, we'll talk about this total. This total is an 8.5 -110. It hasn't moved at all. On the money line here, we have Hancock -134. So there's been a 14-cent move away from them. The Angels have gone from +133 to +123. There hadn't been a move until 1:23 p.m., which does make me a little uncomfortable. Let's get the cash flow at action. Well, here, I just want to see it here. We have 33% of the tickets and 44% of the cash on the Angels. It feels like sharp action, but it's pretty easy to get to the Angels here with Tyler Anderson. I and then we go to the lineup. So if we know that lefties are Tyler Anderson's weak point at this moment, we know what Dodgers are doing against lefties. Cal Raleigh is a switchy, and you would expect. I don't know. Like I understand the theme year after year is that you don't want lefty on lefty, but if you're watching a pitcher with career reverse splits and he's getting destroyed by lefties this year, wouldn't Cal Raleigh line up from the left hand side? Maybe he doesn't. Maybe it's not comfortable for certain players, to do that. You also have Leo Rivas as a switchy, and Crawford batting lefty to open this all up. Okay, so I'm interested. I'm interested in the Seattle Mariners. Take it away, Jose. You get this one started. Angels Mariners.
Sure. I'll start with Spoons here saying, do yourself a favor on Fangraphs versus left-handed pitchers, and you will see Seattle's numbers today. In the last 15 days, they have 8 plate appearances against lefties at home. And I will trust my bigger sample size on the last 15 days. They have, again, 126 plate appearances, 150 weighted runs created plus. I'd rather trust that than the 8. And I know in the full month, it's not good either, but that is 70 plate appearances. Again, I'll trust a bigger sample size when it comes to those bigger against the Mariners bats. Now, I'm not running to the window to back this Mariners team. I do like the action today. I think the -150 price is kind of an indicator. I think they roll today. But full bullpen's kind of in a back-to-back situation. Munoz threw yesterday. I don't like that. I assume they'll all be available here today. No one threw a ridiculous amount of pitches to where, I can think they're out. So I do like that. Angels, by the way, bullpen pretty fresh. Wine Time's guy, Zephyr John, hasn't thrown since Sunday. And, if you're a Reed Detmers guy, hasn't thrown in a shitload of time either. So I'll stay off this game, I guess, for now. I lean towards the Mariners, just a little bit too juicy. And I trust Hancock, obviously, as well. And I'm very interested to see how Anderson does today in the lineup. You mentioned his reverse splits, and there's 2, maybe 3 lefties in here. So we'll see how it goes. But nothing here for me. But I do think the Mariners are a good bet today.
Take it away, one-time Angels Mariners.
Yeah, man, it'd be tough for me to come on here and give out the Angels here, even though they're plus money. They're just not playing good baseball, guys. I mean, I've been watching this team play. They just can't get it done at the plate. I'm really confused why they haven't fired their hitting coach quite yet. It just doesn't make a lot of sense because they've got talent in there. They've got guys that can hit. It's just crazy when guys get on base, they can't get them in. And this Mariners team knows this Angels team very well. The Angels pretty much owned them the last 10 or 11 games, but before that, the Mariners owned the Angels. They've got a little rivalry going back to when they had that little brawl a couple years ago. Interesting enough, the Angels posted their lineup, and a guy named Campiro is starting in left field. I've never even heard of this guy. It looks like he has 45 major league career at bats, and he's 27. I'm very confused by that, but he is a switch hitter. And I'm guessing that Ron's finally like, well, we need more than one left-handed bat in this lineup. Sean Will's the only left-handed bat, and we're facing all these right-handed pitching, and we're just not getting it done. Brent Hefo is a switch hitter as well. But this lineup, man, they can definitely get it done here against Hancock. I think they can touch him up. But Tyler Anderson, yeah, I saw him pitch against the Giants a couple weeks ago. Shut him out, 6 shutout innings. Looked really good. He's just very composed out there. Never gets too high, never gets too low. Even when runners are on base, it seems like he does better. He gets that ground ball. I mean, his changeup is 2 miles per hour faster than his fastball, or 2 miles per hour slower than his fastball, which is crazy. So, yeah, this is a pass for me, guys. The Angels need this win here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they finally get a win here because they're due. Going to go back to home, and they've had a rough road start to this season, but they don't leave the state of California the entire month of May. Their road trips will be in Oakland, will be in LA and San Diego. So May, but it's definitely a gauntlet schedule as well. So I'm going to stay off this game.
Sucks. I mean, take out that one inning, and Emerson Hancock is all-star Major League Baseball.
Yeah,
that's what he's done.
That's
what he's done. AM one fucking inning, but I don't need, just because I so vehemently disagree with the feelings on Emerson. I hate it. Look, if this line had not moved back, AM says hand and cock and runs, running down his leg, I imagine, into his belly button and down his leg. I guess AM. I don't know if I can. Look, I'm going to wait for this line to see if it bounces back. That line move that just happened towards the Angels makes me uncomfortable, because who in their right mind would back the Angels if you're watching them play?
Yeah, it's bad watching them play.
A wager detective leading to the under. All right. Okay, let's just move on. Let's just move on. Okay, so I double dipped on Michael King. Padres, Giants. I'm on Michael King and the Padres. First 5 minus a half. Full game -1 here. So let me just remember what the lines I got. So I bet 2 games, but I've doubled down on both of them. So here we go. I got first 5 minus a half at +102. It's so crazy how bad 365 is on first 5s minus a half or plus a half. It's unbelievable. You can't just have 365. You need to have other books. One time, 22 cents difference. 22 cents. I mean, it's just ridiculous. The full game -1 wasn't quite as dramatic, but it was dramatic. Still, well, it wasn't quite as heavy, but so I got the first 5 minus a half at +102. I got the full game -1 at +108. I think Michael King might be an elite pitcher. We know that he was the opening day starter. 3-1, 2.18 ERA, 1.06 WHIP, 40 strikeouts in 33 innings, 3 home runs allowed in 33 innings. His last start, 1-0 loss at home versus the Rays, he was excellent. 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. The run that was allowed wasn't earned. It doesn't matter who he's facing. Lefties aren't hitting him. Righties aren't hitting him. He's been very good. Landon Roop, I don't know exactly what we're going to get from him. And Justin McKelvey's got 2 units on the Padres. I love to see that. 4.56 ERA, 1.52 WHIP. Like a lot of these young pitchers, he's got great strikeout numbers. He's able to get swings and misses, and he's really not getting barreled that much. He's allowed 3 jacks in 25 2/3. His last start was ugly. He was at home. Now he goes out on the road. He went 3 2/3, 6 hits, 5 runs. Now just 3 were in with 2 Ks and 3 walks. But it's righties that have been hitting him. 279 with an 861 OPS. And who are the righties in the lineup? Well, Tatis, Machado, Bogarts. So righties that can get to him. And I think that I've got this huge advantage with Michael King. I think he's very, very good. The Chillist says, say it, Jimmy. Padres fucking smash today. J-Dub says this is disrespectful. Giants plus 125. Giants are hitting 235, 705 OPS versus righties. Padres are 261, 713. The Padres have the best bullpen in the league. Giants have the second best bullpen in the league. The first MLB surf and turf of the season is Padres Rangers here. Padres Rangers. And Coin said San Diego money line was minus 135 when he had confirmed. I was late to the party. Here. Let's go over the line history. We have right now the Padres are minus 145. They opened up at minus 127. I got in. What time exactly did I make this move? About 10:45 a.m. When I did it, it was minus 141. So it's still moving in the Padres direction. When we go to the cash flow, we have, according to Action, 78% of the tickets, 71% of the cash. There were bigger bets at the time. There wasn't as many tickets and cash on the Padres, but the line just continues moving to the Padres. And I'm not going to let it concern me. So I doubled down. If I had gotten in very early, I wouldn't have needed to take the minus a half and the minus 1. It's my fault for getting in late and trying to bring the VIG down. So that is our situation. Wine Time Sports, 2 West Coast teams, Giants, Padres at Petco Park. Oh, I didn't give the weather very quickly here in San Diego. 66 Fahrenheit, 7.2 miles per hour left to right. It gets up to 8.9 miles per hour. Take it away, Wine Time, my man.
Yeah, this should be a good game right here, man. I mean, NL West is just absolutely loaded right now. It's crazy with these teams. Padres, after losing 4 straight, got to win their last game. Yeah, I'm right with you. I'm thinking about moving on the minus 1. I can get a plus 110 on that after I did on the calculator. I think they can take care of business against the Giants. Michael King, a guy that I like to back. San Francisco Giants team, don't get me wrong, they've been getting it done this season. They've been getting wins. 19-11, that's a great start. Offense isn't flashing to me by any means. I mean, you've got Lee in center field, their best hitter. Not a lot of players in their lineup have success against King either. I mean, Matt Chapman 3 for 20. Willie Adams is 4 for 10, 2 Ks and RBI, but everyone else pretty unsuccessful. Not a big enough sample size, but I like Michael King. I think they get it done here at home. It's going to be a beautiful day in San Diego. Yeah, and I like this Padres team, man. The lineup is just so deep when you really look at it, man. I mean, it's crazy, especially 1 through 5 right now is pretty damn good. So I like the Padres here. I haven't moved on it yet. This is a game I might end up moving on it. I like the Padres. We'll see if I end up moving on it before the show ends. I have a lean towards the Padres, though, at the minus 1 plus 110.
And that's a good number, plus 110, because I bet this 3 hours ago, and I got plus 108 on my minus 1, and the line's still moving towards the Padres. And if I bet this right now at 365, I'd be getting like a plus 102 or something like that. Jose, take it away. Your thoughts on Giants Padres?
Yeah, I'll keep mine brief here. I'll just kind of echoing you guys. I agree. I think it's a Padres spot. I'm not going to move on it. Late to the party, a little bit too juiced. For me, 70% of the bets, 57% of the money on the Padres here. That's also a little bit concerning. So seemingly bigger bets on the Giants, but the line moving from minus 130 to minus 150 would make me feel better about that as well. 58% of the bets on the under, but 63% of the money on the over. So, and big over bets here as well. I kind of agree with the over love in the chat, but no action for me here. I find the Giants to be eternally confusing, and I'm just lucky I got the win yesterday. So no action.
I still want to get on the Mariners here. I'm not sure, if I can look at a 14-cent move and say, who cares? I mean, look, I'm sitting here down 2 units after, 150 bets. I'm not. God, I'd love to do it though, but I double down on the Padres. My man Sancho in the house. What up, Sancho? We have AM on the under 7. We have Troy Torrance on the over 7. Aubrey Travis also on the over 7. And Troy saying King struggled a bit with good lineups he's seen. Roop due for regression over. Michael King has struggled at times. I still don't fear the Giants lineup, but they seem just to continue to attack. All right, let's roll on. This game I really wanted to talk about. 6:10 p.m. Eastern with the Minnesota Twins 13-17, 4-11 on the road at the Cleveland Guardians. 16-13, 9-5 at home. A shout out to our guy Gorky in the house. Musetti tennis money line here. And Truth Teller again saying fade Hancock despite him losing betting the Red Sox last week. He still feels like Hancock is trash because he's had 2/3 of an inning, or he's just trying to set me off. Regardless, it's part of the fun, and I look forward to talk about it every 5 days with you guys as the 6th overall pick shows, a great career and a great season. Pablo Lopez going up against Luis Ortiz. Pablo Lopez 2-1, 2.08 ERA, 1.11 WHIP, 21 2/3, 20 Ks, 4 walks, 2 home runs. He was on the IL for 15 days. He's come back and he had that 11-4 win at home over the Angels. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, 6 Ks, and 2 walks. He's got really interesting splits here. And Kong saying that felt like this feels like the dreaded first 5 under 3.5. No more from me. You guys know that. We have interesting splits. Pablo Ortiz, righties are hitting 160 with a 392 OPS. He's shutting them all down. But lefties are hitting 343 with an 893 OPS. And again, I tried to wait as long as I could before I started putting these stats down on my worksheet. And I know that the sample size is small, but we're going to see a full lineup of lefties. There'll be 8 lefties going up against Pablo Lopez today. The only righty in the lineup will be Arias, the second baseman. So it's interesting. Then we have Luis Ortiz on the other side. And if you look at his splits, lefties 227, 42, righties 288, 824. Everybody's hitting Luis Ortiz. And the Twins are only hitting 240, 698 OPS. Jose, could you look at what the Twins are doing, weighted runs created or plus, however you want to do it, of last 15 days versus righties? I'm starting to feel like maybe these statistics are a little out of date, and I should.
The Twins?
Yeah, the Twins versus righties last 15 days.
119 weighted runs created plus, 9th best in baseball from the 15th to today.
Spooner, Truth Teller won all 4 bets against Hancock last game. Okay, nice. So you didn't fade him then. So great job not fading Emerson Hancock. Smart. Got you paid. So AM says this total feels like such a trap. Let's take a look here at the line and we can discuss it. Smart. Truth Teller not fading Hancock last start. And look how much money you have because you didn't fade him. Good work. Trusting Hancock. Good work, Truth. All right. We have a money line here for Luis Ortiz at plus 120. Now plus 122. So basically no movement. Then on the total here, we have a 7 minus 115 to the over. This opened up at 7.5. So do we want to get in that line movement? This is tricky. The Guardians bullpen's not quite as good as we thought they were going to be, but that's just because of last year. This is probably where they should be. 3.72 ERA, 1.35 whip. Twins bullpen, 3.38 ERA, 1.13 whip. So here we go. Take it away. Where are we at? We are at Jose Bouquet. Take it away, Twins Guardians.
Yeah, I was looking at the Guardians here, and I looked at it. It was tracking the line movement. But unfortunately, the line's not moving where I kind of wanted it. It seemed a little fishy. I saw this open up, or I saw this at minus 120. Cleveland Guardians, or should I say Minnesota Twins favored by minus 120. And I was like, okay, if it stays there, then maybe I can move on the Guardians here, but it's gone up a little bit. I thought it was a little weird being that cheap to begin with, but yeah, no action for me. And this total's super low, super low. That's so low that I guess it seems like everyone's, looking at the over here, but beware. So no action here for me.
This sucks. This doesn't correlate at all. So AM thinks this is the sharp trap type deal because he still likes the over 7 because statistically, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. By the way, market in this game here, 55% of the money and 52% of the bets are on the Minnesota Twins, 75 and 75 on the under here.
Wow. One time, take it away. Twinkies, Guardians.
Tough game here, guys. Paulo Lopez having a good start to the season here. Twins starting to turn it around. Don't get me wrong. They had those 3 games against the Angels. They looked pretty damn good, but Angels were exhausted in that series. Twins still, though, 13 and 17 now. Starting to turn their season around a little bit. Getting things going. Cleveland here, 16 and 13. I think this is honestly, I would lean to the under here in this spot. If you ask me, nothing for me in this game. And seeing the Minnesota Twins here minus 130, it's obviously because Pablo Lopez is starting right now. But I think that they are live to win this game as well. Nothing for me in this game, though. I mean, looking at, the market on action, 37% of bets, 41% of money on the Guardians. I don't know if we can trust action nowadays, though, but as of right now, I'm going to stay off this game. I want nothing to do with this one. I have a lean towards the under. I just don't really trust either of these offenses, honestly. I know they've been playing a lot better lately, but I still don't. So I would lean towards the under. That's probably why it's a 7, but I'm going to stay away from this game.
I want the Guardians so badly. JW is about to bet his left nut on the Guardians.
It's a lot right there.
He has 2 nuts, though. That's helpful.
How do you know?
We're good buds. Good buds, man. We send nut shots back and forth.
Nice. You don't accept mine, so.
Good, yeah. No, it's no one wants to see this.
What is nuts that you like more than mine?
Let's stay focused here. I want to back the Guardians and Luis Ortiz badly. I feel like this move towards the under tells us that Ortiz is going to pitch well. And I mean, it's a pretty legit move towards the under. And then on the money line here, we had a move towards the Guardians off the hop. They go from plus 119 to plus 108. I mean, if they were at plus 108 right now, we'd all be on them, right? I think that I should stop being such a bitch. I think the Guardians and the Mariners should be bet. And I'm just so hesitant. Okay, all right. Thank you, Nate. We will. I mean, isn't this the perfect God, it's just the Twins are playing well right now. Okay, I'm not going to say here ham and haw. The Mariners and the Guardians, I expect to find a way to get on here because I can explain the market move. I mean, can't you? First off, the Sharps were on the Guardians. It moves 10 cents. And then the public comes in and backs the Twins because Pablo Lopez is pitching against Luis Ortiz. I mean, isn't that pretty easy to explain? Right? The problem is that the Twins are hitting righties and, Ortiz is weak enough or vulnerable enough. Well, let's just very quickly go over the righties in the lineup. It's Buxton, Correa, France, Jeffers, and then Gasper and Brooks Lee are going to hit from the right side. I mean, who's afraid of this Twins lineup? I know they're hitting right now, but nobody. This has got to be the Guardians. Okay, I'm very interested in Mariners Guardians, but I need more time on this stuff. JW said Padres 4-0 versus the division. Let's go to a next game here on the board. Yankees Orioles. Jose, Cookie Carrasco has cost me a lot of money this year already. I mean, it's just
In which sense? So backing or fading him?
fading him.
Well, here's today's the day to do it again, Jimmy. Come on, join the train.
This is a tricky one. Yankees Orioles. We're at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Here, sorry, let me make sure. Wait, sorry, we went Jose. Wine time. Jose wine time. Did we not go to you for Twins Guardians?
Oh no, we did. Yeah, I broke it down. I said I had to lean towards the under.
You start this game, Jimmy.
I got scared that we'd skip you. If that ever happens, please let me know. We have Povich coming off a really strong start. AM on Yankees Orioles over 9.5. Let's go to the weather here for this one. We have 80 Fahrenheit, feels like 76, 4.5 in, and then dies down to 2.7. The wind is a non-issue. It's warm and beautiful in Baltimore, Charm City. Shout out to our guy Von Polo. We have Swish also on the over in this one. Let's go into the line history here. We have the Orioles at minus 116. They opened up at minus 115. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let me do this again. Sorry. The Orioles did not open up there. Sorry. I don't know. The Orioles, I was tripping out. The Orioles opened up at plus 106 at 9:52 p.m. And then the line was moving away from them. It's got up to plus 109. Since then, it's just been a huge move towards the Orioles that are now minus 115. A huge move towards Cade Povich. When we get to the total for this one, we have a 9. I see 9.5s across the board, but this just moved back to 9 about 18 minutes ago. It had been a 9 for a little while. It's still juiced minus 120 to the over. But we have a move to the under, a legit move to the under. JW says we all know what to do here. It's Yankees versus a lefty. The Yankees are hitting 278, 67 OPS versus lefties. And Cade Povich is very vulnerable to right-handed bats. Righties are hitting 366, 989 OPS. Now, that sounds bad, but against Carrasco, righties are hitting 317, 1.061 OPS. So both pitchers are very vulnerable to righties. And we have only Goldschmidt, Judge, Volpe, and Reyes as righties. Cabrera is a switch who will be hitting right. And then the same issue with the Orioles. And you would imagine that Rutschman will be hitting from the right side, and Mountcastle and Urias and Laureano. Not nearly as many righties as you'd want in this lineup. Lefties against Povich rating 182, 558, and lefties against Carrasco rating 224, 661. Carrasco coming off a really nice start against the Blue Jays, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 Ks, 2 walks. And Yankees bullpen looks very good, and the Orioles bullpen looks awful. So this is a real fascinating situation here. Wine time, take it away, Yankees, Orioles.
Yeah, I'm on the Orioles here. I got a minus 115. I'm getting it right now, so that's what I'm going to give it out as. Haven't tweeted it out or anything. I think the Orioles are going to get it done here. Looks like the public is just hammering up on these Yankees right now. Both these pitchers off to bad starts this year. You touched on it. Cookie Carrasco got a nice start last out. I think these Orioles can hit him today. Looking at their team total right now as well, over 4.5 minus 135 might be a look as well. It's just a little bit juicy to take. But I think Cookie Carrasco is vulnerable here, and I think Orioles are going to be able to get runs on the board in this game. And seeing the Orioles, they're off to a bad start this season, guys. I'm not sure if this is going to be a playoff team this year, but I do think they can get it done here in this game. They're the favorites for a reason, I feel like, and I'm going to take them here. Baltimore Orioles minus 115 is the best line I can get on. This is going to be on Amazon Prime. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Both these teams absolutely hate each other. The fan bases hate each other. I'm on the Orioles here in this spot, minus 115.
And Stacks play day number 2 is the over here. Jose, take it away. I'm all ears.
Yep, Orioles for me. They got their ship pushed in last night. I think there will be a response. Carlos Carrasco, the line in the market in all of his starts has kind of been saying that he's going to pitch well, which has been very interesting. This is the first one where finally line moving against him, it seems. So
it is moving to the under.
Yeah, I will say that I didn't move on the over because I looked at that and I was like, oh, it's interesting. It's moving towards the over, but it is line flipping from dog to favorite to the Orioles. I forgot who brought that up yesterday. I think it was Wager Detective. Well, here's your first test of it right here. I'm on the Orioles money line. I bet it before the show at -113.
But Wager Detective was absolutely right. Right, he was talking about the Nuggets, Clippers.
Yeah,
Wager Detective said that's fishy. It's not going to work, and he was right.
yeah. So there you go. 1-1. Hopefully today. Wager Detective. We'll see.
That was
But
that stuck in my head the whole night watching the. And the only reason, it's so funny. We talk about how bad vividness bias can be, but vividness bias saved me money because I told you I can't bet against the Nuggets at home. I can't. I know about the injuries. We said that the best case scenario would be the Nuggets win Game 5 and we go back on the Clips. But
yeah, I wonder what that line is now. Very interested.
Yeah, I've never been so clean in NBA as I am right now. I'm just
and by the way, isn't it fucking crazy? -160 for the series, and they didn't have home court. That was just nuts.
It was so much fun to cap. I have so much fun capping NBA with all you guys, but it's very tricky, and I much more enjoy doing it with all you guys. But again, Wine Time is on the Orioles, and so is Jose Bouquet.
Yeah, -113. Full game, obviously, as well. I think there will obviously be a response after getting your shit pushed in by one of your rivals, quote unquote.
Yeah, I need more time. I'm going to go over this again with both of you guys on the Orioles, so I'm going to sit with this after the show. But I just now my bias is screwing me because Carrasco's cost me so much money. Oh God, Kong! I didn't realize that he was on Milwaukee money line. 118, 111 with 40 seconds left.
Unreal.
I mean, it's just. God, I part of the reason, and I know we'll get into this NBA, but it was such a horrific regular season. We can all agree on. It was just trash. It was the worst product we've ever seen. And I'm 45 in my life. Capping NBA was the worst product we've ever seen, and then the playoffs have been incredible.
Yep.
So, Kong, I wish you had got that. I wish you had got there. Yeah, I was thankful for just being on first quarter, first half, but you could have tripled up on that one. Resmob says Nuggets first quarter last night was low hanging fruit. I can't wait to cap NBA. We'll get there soon, but I love capping MLB too. So let's stay focused here. We have 6:40 p.m. Eastern action, but that's our first spot on the board where both of you guys, or we have two cappers on the same bet. So that's interesting. And Kong says, I tell you, I've been capping for almost 6 years now, and that is the worst beat I've ever had. I can't stop watching Giannis talking to Mathurin. I can't stop. Like I swear I watched that 50 times because there's that moment where Mathurin's like, we're buddies.
I thought so too. There was a half second where I was like, oh, this is very nice. And then it just was not. It was not at all.
It's like I can't get out. I'm stuck. I'm fucking stuck.
You got big hands. Can't get out of that man's mitts.
It was so funny. I watched that over and over and over and over again because Mathurin's like, we respect each other. And then he's like, wait, I'm stuck. Cubs Pirates, next spot on the board, PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Let's get into the weather here. 69 Fahrenheit, 1.8 miles per hour to right field. It's nothing. The wind's 1.8. It's nothing to worry about. It's pitchers, ballpark, no issue there. Saturated says, if a dude grabs your neck like that, what do you do? Well, I had actually somewhat similar situation when I was a young comic that we'll talk about when it's basketball time. Okay. Matthew Boyd, lefty, who looked great to start the season. And then the Dodgers got to him. 6 runs, only 3 of which were earned. 2 jacks. Look, the Dodgers can get you. Oh, God damn. Shit. Kong. Lefties are hitting 323, but just 772 OPS. Not a ton of power. Very little power. If you're hitting 323, you'd think your OPS has got to be 900. Righties 241, 682 OPS. We have Carmen McGinsky on the bump for the Pirates. 1 and 3, 6.95 ERA, 1.82 WHIP. His last start, 3 earned runs over 5 innings. You gotta stay focused, man. Lefties are smashing him. Now, righties are hitting him 292, 787 OPS. Lefties are hitting 362, 974 OPS. Cubs versus righties, 256, 771 OPS. Pirates aren't hitting lefties at all. 220, 603 OPS. So Pirates aren't hitting lefties, and it's only left-handed bats that are getting to Matthew Boyd. So let's just take a look at the Pirates' left-handed bats. It's O'Neill, Cruz. Reynolds will hit from the left-hand side. And then you have Valdez. So not a lot to worry about. We've already heard Troy Torrance is using the Cubs' first 5 with the Dodgers' money line. Let's take a look at the line history and then hand it over to Jose. We have this total at 8.5. It's minus 117 to the over. Opened up at 8.5, and it got up to 9. Didn't it get up for 9 for a cup of coffee? Around midnight. It wasn't a real 9. And so it's stuck there. From a money line standpoint here, we have the Cubs at minus 159. It's very fishy line. Opened up at minus 162. They got up to minus 168 at 9:30 this morning, which is not much. And then there was a 12-cent move, a bigger move. There was a 18-cent move towards the Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, this is very strange. Take it away for us here, Jose. This is so interesting. The Pirates at home to the Cubs with a huge advantage for the Cubs on the mound and with the sticks, except for the bullpen. There was only non-advantage, and yet this line has moved back. Take it away.
Yeah, it'd be a lean towards the Pirates here. I couldn't get there officially, but the line moving backwards. Matthew Boyd, it's a good pitcher, not a great pitcher. And I thought this was kind of suspiciously low priced, if we're being honest. I thought this would be minus 200 Cubs. And minus 165. It's not far off, but it's definitely lower. So I stayed off this game. If I was going to move on, it'd probably be Pirates first 5, but I haven't moved on anything and I don't plan on it.
This is so fishy. Wine time, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the line yesterday was fishy. I mean, you guys heard me in the chat yesterday. I don't ever fade the Cubs ever. I'm usually on them. Am I going to fade them again here? You know what? I guess so. I guess I'm going to have to do it here. I can get a plus 145 on the money line here. And I'm also going to, I kind of want to double up. I kind of want to take the plus 1.5 as well. I kind of want to take both spots here. I just think the Pirates are going to get it done. This is a very fishy line. I mean, everyone should be hammering the Cubs here. Being only a minus 160 at some spots right here. That's just crazy to be minus 160 at my book, minus 1.5, minus 110 on the run line after they absolutely smashed them yesterday. These Pirates do have some good hitters. They got O'Neill, Cruz at the top, one of the most dangerous hitters. I was so stoked that I got to go to a Pirates game and watch him play. I wanted to watch him play for a while, man. He's a good fucking player. But I'm on the Pirates plus 145 on the money line. I might move on the plus 1.5 as well. We'll see if I end up adding that. But I'm going to move on the plus 145 on the money line. I think they get it done here at home in Pittsburgh against a good Cubs team. The Cubs just embarrassed them at home yesterday. And it was a rain delay too. So the game got postponed for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Kind of, I don't like when that happens, but definitely the Pirates never really had a chance in that game anyways. But I'm going to move on the Pirates again. And, if they burn me here, I might have to never fade the Cubs again this season.
It's wild. McGinskey's only had the 2 home starts. I do not know what to do here. The market is telling us that the Cubs are fishy, but when you look at how much money is in Troy's bankroll from back in the Cubs' first 5, I don't blame him. All right, nothing for us here in that game. I just got to move away from it. Let's talk about the doubleheader game 2 at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Steven Matz has looked very good this year, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't believe it. The Cardinals don't believe it. I believe we have Chase Petty on the hill. Has that been?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, cool. Okay. It's going to be fun to see this kid pitch. Now, True Teller mentioned earlier that, he loves fading these pitchers in their major league debut, and he's not alone. Matty Ice, star of the Taint Play of the Day, does the same thing. He fades all these guys on their first start. And I don't know what we're going to get from Chase Petty. Chase Petty's looked quite good this year. 26th overall pick in the 2021 draft out of high school. It's a huge rarity to see a pitcher not from California coming up in Major League Baseball. Linwood, New Jersey, Mainland Regional High School in Jersey. This year, like last year, now last year he spent most of the season, and he's 21. I mean, he was 21 last year. He's a kid. This kid is drafted out of high school, so he just turned 22 from Camden. Shout out to Sean Pulliam, Sean's boy here. Chase Petty in the house. So last year he was in Double-A and he was good, 4.39 ERA for 21-year-old. The thing that he does is he gets strikeouts, 123 strikeouts, and then he went up and he got 2 starts in Triple-A, and he was really good, allowed 2 earned runs, not as many strikeouts. And then this year he had 5 starts at Louisville Triple-A, 3.52 ERA, 1.30 WHIP. So that's Chase Petty making his major league debut. Our guy Lil Domo in the house. What up, Lil Domo? And JW says, and he's favored for a reason. It's because Steven Matz, I mean, what do we do with these numbers? 1.80 ERA, 0.90 WHIP. I mean, it's as fraudulent as you can imagine. It's fraudulent as you can imagine. We got Ick Schnizzle rolling with us. Slick Ick in the house. What up, Ick? Icky E. Woods ready to get to work. We have the last appearance from Steven Matz was on April 26th. He went 2 1/3. His last start was April 16th, and he was pretty good. 5 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, 2 Ks, 1 walk, and 10-4 win at the Braves. Lefties aren't touching him. We know that, but righties, he's getting righties out, which is a rarity. Cardinals versus righties, 263, 730 OPS. Reds versus righties, 266, 757 OPS. Reds bullpen very good. Cardinals bullpen not very good. And then let's get to the line history here for game 2 of the double dip. We have the Cincinnati Reds at minus 113. They opened up minus 120. So we've had a slight move towards the Cardinals. We're watching that game play out right now. It's 1-0 St. Louis in the bottom of the 6th. And then when we get to the total for game 2, we have a 9 or 9.5. This opened up at 9.5. It hasn't moved. You either bet the under 9.5 heavily juiced or bet the over 9 heavily juiced. It's your call. And weather-wise here for the second game, 74 Fahrenheit, 3.6 miles per hour ends, non-issue. So here we go. Game 2 of the double header. Wine time, take it away.
Yeah, Reds got runners at first and second with 1 out right now. This is going to be a game I pass on. 1-0 to do in this game. I try to stay away from game 2 of double headers, honestly. Just my ROI in the past hasn't been too good in them. And this isn't a game I want to get involved in. We said the Cards were the sharper play earlier. It's 1-0 game so far. Maybe this is the game that goes over because that looks like that game's going to go under. But I got nothing for you guys in this game. This is going to be a straight pass for me.
Wager Tech says Mainland, where Petty went to high school, is 3 miles from Atlantic City. So with a lot of hype in the newspapers here when Petty was in high school. Jose Bouquet, Cardinals Reds.
Yeah, I do think this is going to be a red spot. I'm watching the Reds game right now. Fly out for what's his name, Gavin Lux. Man on the corners with 2 outs. This game smells like a 1-0 loss for the Reds, which they are very familiar with, as you guys know. And then a bounce back, and you split the doubleheader here. So I lean their way in game 2. Petty, their third best pitching, or their third best prospect, I should say, not even just pitching, but third best prospect. So I'll trust the pedigree, but no action here for me in this game. Would love to see the Reds win game 1, honestly, so I don't feel like a jackass for not moving on them, for not moving on the Cardinals, but no action here for me.
Matt's reminds me of Cookie Carrasco. 2 pitchers I know aren't very good that when I think they're going to pitch terribly, they seem to pitch okay. And so I'm going to move past to that one as well. So let's talk about this. Nationals, Philadelphia Phillies. So I cashed the over yesterday. I should have live bet the over. We should live bet every Nationals, Phillies. They don't need to be playing each other. Their bullpens are so terrible.
So bad.
And then I thought to myself, why am I betting? Who cares about my record? Why am I betting before the game starts? Just hope that these 2 starters have a good, start and then attack. Now, Sanchez is getting hit hard by right-handed bats right now. 3.42 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. He's coming off only lasting 2 innings in a 5-1 loss at the Mets.
It came out with injury that start as well.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, it's the forearm tightness. I believe this is obviously his first start.
Yeah,
since
it is. 291 average, 843. That's the numbers against Sanchez. Jake Irvin is starting to look really good, and we took Jake Irvin over Kodai Senga only because it was the 7+ winning streak switching cities. Jose talks very highly about Jake Irvin. He's someone I watch a lot. AM says both teams have the capability of popping runs early. Yeah, but their vulnerability is in the pen, and especially at the end of a series. So I hear what you're saying. Look, I was very thankful to get the over yesterday. Today we have a move towards the under. This opened up at 8:01 a.m., 8.5 minus 113 to the under. By 9:01 a.m., exactly 1 hour later, we were in 8. At 9:06 a.m., 5 minutes later, we were at 7.5. So then it's bounced around 7.5, 8. I don't want it. This is not NHL. This is not where I'm like, I don't agree with this line move and I'm going to bet against it. I have to respect it and just, I guess, move on. We'll hear the numbers on the total from Jose using Wager Talk, but here, 89% of tickets, 83% of cash on the Philadelphia Phillies. So we haven't even talked about the money line here yet, and I apologize. So let me get over there quickly. On the money line, we have the Phillies at minus 215. They opened up at minus 216. Now it's back to 216. But this got down to minus 202 at 10 in the morning. Here, so the Phillies, are a decent sized favorite. So then the next question is, Jake Irvin, lefties hit Jake Irvin harder than righties. Righties are getting locked down by Irvin right now. 164, 537 OPS. Lefties 257, 44. So why don't we start with Jake Irvin against this Philadelphia Phillies lineup? And the lefties are dangerous. Stott, Harper, Schwarber, Kepler. And then we know that it's righties that get the Christopher Sanchez. And we look at the righties, and they're hard to find. Rosario, Ruiz is switch, will hit from the right-hand side. Josh Bell will hit from the right-hand side. Then you have Dylan Cruz and Jacob Young. I cannot believe this line is doing what it's doing. I guess just stay off. And the one thing I didn't do, and I apologize to give you guys the weather, 74 Fahrenheit, 6.3 miles per hour in, dies down to 4.5 miles per hour. So here we go. We have, we have Jose starting us off here. Jose, take it away. Nationals, Phillies.
Yeah, this is a stay off game for me here. I didn't want to back Christopher Sanchez game after coming back from that forearm thing. Honestly, you would expect. I thought, forearm strain, forearm tightness. Here comes the IL stent. Here comes the Tommy John, et cetera, et cetera. But no, avoids it. I don't want to back him here. I like Jake Irvin a lot as well, as you guys know. We've been singing his praises for the last 2 years now. But his numbers against the Phillies are not good. Here are all of his starts. A bunch of them coming from last year. Has one already this year. 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs. His best one in quite a while, I will say. They still lost the game 11-6. In his career, he's 1-5 against the Phillies. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 6 earned runs. 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. And a very good one in 2013 or 2023 where he shut him out and still lost the game 12-3. So just a little bit of too much familiarity. The bullpen is horrible. And I could only lean over in this game. But as you mentioned, the market is saying otherwise. So no action here for me.
Yeah, it's God. How can it be this low with the bullpens the way they are? One time, take it away.
Yeah, this is a interesting game. A part of me wants to take the Phillies on the run line here. It's just so hard to do that against this Nationals team because they just show so much fight throughout their games, especially towards the end. You said it, betting these games over for the Nationals, just money in the bank, man, especially lately. It's crazy. And the team just doesn't give up. It seems like the Nationals never give up. Doesn't matter what the score is. It's the 8th or 9th inning. They're down more than 6 runs. They're going to go out there and they're going to try to still win that game. Which is good to see from a fan base and from your coach. It's a young group of guys, and you're going against a Phillies team that's expected to compete for a World Series this year with this batting order that they have. It's one of the best batting orders we've ever seen, if we're being completely honest here. I want to move on the Phillies. I think the only team I've moved on once this year on the run line was the Phillies, and I think they smashed by like 7 runs. It might be the second time I take a team on the actual run line, -1.5 here live on the show. And I think it's going to be on the Phillies. I know everyone's hammering them, but it just seems like a Phillies spot. But at the same time, it's hard to do it because I know this Nationals team is never going to want to give up throughout the game. And Jake Irvin made us some cash last week as well in that game. It's a tough spot. I'm not gonna have anything in this game. If I end up moving on it, it would probably be the Phillies -1.5. I don't think I'm gonna end up moving on this. It's a lean at best, but nothing from me on this game.
Yeah, the market is just not correlating. And this early in the season, I don't know why I would try to get in the way of it. So I guess I've just got to stay off, unfortunately. The home run that was hit by Nathaniel Lowe last night was an absolute, like, it's just one of the most, you can romanticize baseball so easily, but in that situation, it's 5-3, there's 2 out, there's 2 runners on, but they're on first and second, and he golfs one, and you could hear a pin drop, and the announcers go, "Oh no!" That was it. "Oh no!" And you just see it soaring, and it was just fucking magic here, and I needed it. I had the over 8.5, which I'd given up on. It was just fucking magic. Let's move on to our next game on the board. So I've doubled down here. I've doubled down on the under at Georgia M. Steinbrenner Field, and I am embarrassed. I was so caught up. I knew I was supposed to be the first thing I did at 5:30 in the morning, but I was so pumped up about NHL. I was so pumped up about everything in general of what we're doing on this show and how we're winning and making money and I'm getting paid on Friday. I was so pumped up about sweeping the board in basketball that I forgot. And if this lands on 8 today, and I missed the 8.5 by the tiniest margin, if it does, it's, I deserve it. I deserve it. Because when I was mentioning with Jose last night, I was like, well, I guess we have to bet the under on every night game in Tampa. The market will correct itself, but not right away. This opened up at 8.5. It got down to 7.5 for a cup of coffee. Now we're back at 8 here. This Noah Cameron, you would think, is this the perfect pitcher for this? Here's a lefty. The Rays are hitting .207 with a .598 OPS versus lefties. 7th round pick in the 2021 draft out of Central Arkansas. And this kid has been so consistent over the last 2 years. He's been incredible. He started out at Northwest Arkansas in 2024 in AA. 24 years old. He should be pitching very well in this situation. He did. 3.63 ERA, 1.36 whip, 16 starts, 87 strikeouts, and 74 in the third. He gets promoted to Omaha. At Omaha, he has 9 starts. He has a 2.32 ERA, a 1.01 whip, 62 strikeouts in just 54 in the third with only 11 walks. So then this year, I'm surprised he doesn't start with the big club. He deserves to start with the big club. Now you wonder, look, why did they get rid of Brady Singer? They have fucking Noah Cameron sitting there, 6'3", 220 lefty, waiting in the wings. This year in Omaha, he's made 5 starts, 3.22 ERA, 1.03 whip, 27 strikeouts, and 22 in a third. This guy looks really good. He looks really good. AM got on the under 8.5 -105. Excellent job. Excellent job. So Spooner says Cameron has really good numbers, but his walks per 9 is high this year. Is worth noting. Yeah, you know what? I'm very interested to hear what he does in the show. And this is the perfect team for him to face. We also have 2 very good bullpens. As we talked about, Jose, when Fangraphs rated Tampa Bay's bullpen as the 25th in Major League Baseball, we're like, these guys don't understand. They're just basing it all off numbers. The Rays are the geniuses of the baseball world, the Rays and the Guardians handling their pitchers. Zoe saying Tampa Bay not hitting lefties, and the Royals aren't hitting righties. 226, 620 OPS. Drew Rasmussen looks phenomenal. Now, the issue with Drew Rasmussen, and that's why my bets are already in. So I have to do anything. But Jose should touch on the bullpen because they're not letting Rasmussen see a lineup a third time. He's only going 5 innings. They're keeping him at that spot. So he's got a 2.10 ERA, 0.90 whip. He's allowed 1 home run in 25 2/3, 27 Ks, 6 walks. And his last start wasn't very good. It was at Arizona. He got touched up for 4 earned runs. But lefties are hitting 189, 440 against him. Righties are hitting 189, 539 OPS against him. Nobody's hitting him. The wind, of course, is blowing in 8 miles per hour. It dies down to 6.5. We understand the situation, and the market will soon too. We also, it's like the Oilers when they're down a goal. How much money are we making every single game? It's beyond me. They're giving us a plus 190. When is the market going to realize that it's the best bet in sports? When's the market going to realize the unders in 7 o'clock games is the best bet in sports at George M. Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, Florida? So here we go. Wine time. Take it away. Royals. Oh, so I can't bet the first 5. So I took the first 3 under 2.5 at minus 120, and I got the under 8 at minus 105. Take it away. And those were both at 365. Now the under 8 is at minus 120, so it's a 15-cent move at 365 since I bet it. And the first 3 generally doesn't change that often, and it hasn't changed. Take it away. Wine time. Royals. Race.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Jim. I moved on this about 10, 15 minutes ago. I got a under 8 minus 110. I can still get it right now at my book too. I love this under, honestly. I love your angle with this as well, and especially just this Rays team in general, man. I mean, this Rays batting order is pretty weak. They've got good pitching. They've got good bullpen. And they got one of the best managers in the game in Kevin Cash. I know I say that a lot, but I truly do believe in that manager. It's just crazy to see the Rays like being a minus 170 here. But I don't know. I think this is definitely an under type game. I don't trust either of these batting orders. I think we can get a good start out of Rasmus. Expect we can get a good start out of Cameron. I hope so. This is a small field, but you've talked about all the angles at night and stuff, how it's very profitable, how much it's been going under. And I think still at an 8 is some value. Once it gets to a 7.5, I think it's probably a time to not take it. But you can still get an 8, still take it. If it ends up being a push, I'll take the push. But I'm going to dare both these teams to score 9 runs here in this spot. I don't see it happening. So I'm on the under minus 110, under 8 minus 110. It's officially, I tweeted it out as well.
I love it. And it did go down to 7.5 for a little bit, but now we're back at 8. Jose, my friend, Royals Rays, take it away.
Yeah, I'm on the under 8 as well, minus 105. First bet I made this morning. I was in the same boat as Jimmy, I just waited all night, and I was like, all right, it's not coming up. So then I wake up this morning, it's already an 8. So I was like, okay, fine. I'll just take my 8 here. Minus 105, bullpen situation. Only guys that went yesterday were Manuel Rodriguez and Eric Ords. Eric Ords. I don't know how to say his name, but the rest of the guys haven't thrown since Sunday. Fairbanks, Biggie, Clevenger. So those are the guys that I care about, and they're available. 5 innings strong of Rasmussen. Hopefully Noah Cameron can keep his shit together. Under 8, minus 105. Numbers here on the total, by the way. This is a very, very public one, to say the least, today. 89% of the bets and money on the under in this game here. So I'm a little worried about that. 67% of the money and 60% of the bets on Tampa Bay here. But I'm going to ride the under train.
Yeah, like if they want us to stop betting it, they'd start it at 7.5. Scott Blaster said, I knew that was going to eat it. Yeah, Jimmy, Nuggets were the play. Look, when you go 3-0 in NBA, you wake up snapping your fingers, man. You don't think about what you didn't get. Think about what you got. We're all on the under here in this one. Let's roll on. And it's Spooner that was so heavy pushing this to our attention here. And again, we don't need to cap the same way. We have the same goal. So AM says the play on the under for him is based on the Royals numbers. He doesn't care about the weather, which is fine. We don't all have to fucking ride in the same car. We just got to get to the same destination. Let's move on. 7:07 p.m. Eastern with the Boston Red Sox 17-14, 9-8 on the road at their Toronto Blue Jays 13-16, 8-6 at home. We're at the Rogers Center, Toronto, Ontario.
Who are the sources saying is pitching for the Blue Jays?
Well, I didn't look too much in it, but we think it's Eric Lauer, the lefty.
I don't even have a line for the game.
Yeah. Well, really? Is there no line still?
Not on my book.
I have them.
Let me double check.
So Eric Lauer is a journeyman. So I mean, he's just he hasn't been in Major League Baseball since 2023. And again, we need to. We'll let Jose talk about what the Red Sox are doing against lefties here in this one, but Eric Lauer is the journeyman of journeyman. I mean, he's just been all over the place here. He came in out of, he had a couple of years in Kent State back. We're talking 11 years ago. He got into the show in 2018 with the Padres. And you guys probably remember Eric Lauer, the lefty. I mean, he was a pitcher that we capped quite a bit. He had some good years. 2021, 3.19 ERA. 2022, he had a great year, 11-7. Then, I don't really know what happened to him in 2023. The Brewers didn't want him, and
right shoulder impingement.
Is that what happened? Yeah, he fell off. 6.56 ERA in 2023. In 2024, no one would give him a chance, so he went to the KBO. Didn't look good there. So he's been at AAA Buffalo this year, a 4.50 ERA, 1.25 WHIP. He's made 5 starts. He's a journeyman of journeymen, this guy. Going up against Lucas Giolito, honestly, if we get the confirmation that it's Lauer and we hear, Jose's feelings about what the Red Sox are doing to lefties, isn't it easy to say that we would trust Lauer over Lucas Giolito? I mean, I don't know how. And again, it's kind of nerve-wracking because I was a Giolito backer and Jose knows that. But we haven't seen him since 2023. That's who we're talking about, the internal brace. Are you talking about Giolito?
No.
Lauer.
Right shoulder impingement was Lauer in 2023. That's
okay. Cool. No, that's what I thought you were saying, but because you've been talking about the internal brace, and do we have a confirmation what the difference is with the internal brace procedure and Tommy John?
I think it just gets you back faster. Like the actual medical stuff with it, I think it is literally just a brace instead of someone like you typically get like your hip tendon taken out and then they put it on your fucking arm, or if you don't have any more tendons, they put a fucking baboon's tendon in you. This is like some kind of different kind of brace, and it help allegedly get you back quicker.
He's looked terrible at AA Portland. He's looked terrible at AAA Worcester. 85 pitches in his final outing, 5.19 ERA, 1.79 WHIP. The Blue Jays are not hitting righties. Both bullpens are pitching well. I think this might be a real opportunity to make money here if we can get things confirmed. First off, it was below freezing this morning in Toronto, so it's freezing cold. So the roof's going to be in. We know that the ball doesn't fly as much with the roof closed. This total opened up at 9.5, and it dropped to 9.
2-1 Tigers.
2-1 Tigers. Wow, that was great stuff. Everybody getting me off of that one. That's wonderful. Listen. That's what I've learned from our Peter Loshak. And then we have, at this point, the Jays at minus 108. They opened up at plus 108. A 16-cent move. Giolito must be faded, I guess. A nuclear thought Rodriguez was going for the Jays. Again, we don't have the confirmation yet. Nice, Daniel Hernandez. I love hearing that, my man. So here we go. We have Jose Bouquet talking about the Boston Red Sox. Take it away.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you. I have not had one moment of thinking that Lucas Giolito is going to be a good pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. All of his rehab starts were pretty bad. And to be honest, the only reason why he's up is because Alex Cora was like, yo, if he's healthy, get him in the fucking major leagues right now. Because I'm sure Giolito would have appreciated another rehab start to try to figure his shit out. But Alex Cora was like, no mas, just get up here and we'll try to fix you up here, and we'll try to figure out the lumps and all that stuff, because I need to find out who is going to be in the starting rotation, because we got a shitload of starters and a shitload of guys that could be starters, and guys in AAA that I think are better than Lucas Giolito. Now, the other thing about this is that, I know not many people will care about this part, but Lucas Giolito was not a guy signed by Craig Kimbrell. He is a Heimblum guy, I believe, and there's no attachment emotionally there for Craig Kimbrell, so he could easily just be like, all right, Lucas, we'll give you 2-3 starts, and if you suck ass in all of them, they will cut his ass, send him back down to the minors, because it's a 1-year deal left on this thing, and I wouldn't be surprised at all. So I don't trust Giolito. I'm extremely interested to see what happens with him here, because again, he was a guy with pedigree, guy that figured his shit out. Once upon a time was one of the worst pitchers in baseball, became one of the best, and now after this injury, all eyes will be on him in Boston to see how he does today. The Red Sox smash lefties, and have been smashing lefties, I should say. Last 15 days, 140 plate appearances, 128 weighted runs created plus against lefties. Full season, they're 7th at 112. So that's a good note there. I like Eric Lauer. I am an Eric Lauer guy, but when it comes to those shoulder injuries and stuff like that, that's where I kind of, jump off the bandwagon here. So I ultimately will just have to stay off this game, it seems like. AM's on the under 9.5, so I will stay off the total, but admittedly I lean over in this game because I just think that both of these starting pitchers are not going to be any good. I do not trust the Jays bullpen unless it's Jeff Hoffman. And the Red Sox bullpen is pretty fresh and ready to go. And unlike the Red Sox, bullpen ERA, whatever it is, it'll say they're 20th or whatever. This bullpen is very good. I think this is a top 10 bullpen in baseball. I will keep saying that as long as they stay healthy, and they have 2 very good closers back there. So I'm very interested to see what happens in this game, but I'm not going to bet on it.
And AM says pressure is still relevant even with the roof closed. Interesting. That's interesting, AM. I've got to study that a little more. Mr. Belvedere says Breslow, not Kimbrell. Maybe you were thinking of Dr. Richard Kimball.
I think I was just thinking of relievers for the Red Sox, I guess. But yeah, Breslow, not Kimbrell. Not
Dr. Richard Kimball either?
I don't know who that is, unfortunately.
Oh, from The Fugitive. I'm aging myself. Wine Time, take it away. Your thoughts on Red Sox Jays?
Shout out to the chat, man. We're 8 likes away from 100, guys. We get to 100, I'll take a shot of this nice little bottle of tequila right here for you guys. So let's get there before I get done with this breakdown.
How about this? I will also.
Oh my God.
Actually, I probably shouldn't. I got gout right now, and I got the fucking derby.
Damn.
I don't know.
By the way, Wine Time, how was that bottle of tequila we got you?
Oh, it's delicious. I believe Dabby Cab drank half of it at some point and was like, "Oh, I took your bottle last night for a little bit," and I was like, "Okay," but it was delicious. Got to share with the guys at the Airbnb, man. Shout out to the guys, Nasty Nate, Razor, Dabby Cab. We had a great time at that Airbnb. Smoked a lot of weed, rolled a lot of joints, and I don't smoke a lot of joints. And by that last day, my voice was completely gone. But let's get to 100 likes, guys. I want to take a shot here. I know this guy, Lucas Giolito, pretty well, man. This guy's not good. We've seen him kind of bounce around the last couple of years. I remember Angels traded for him to kind of make that last run with Ohtani.
Oh, what a disgusting trade that was.
It was so gross. I believe he went like in 5 or 6 start, we lost in every single game. The guy, don't get me wrong, he can be on at times, but all it takes is that 1 or 2 innings for him to absolutely blow up, and it's over from there. I don't have these lines available at either of my books, which is crazy right now. I might have to make a phone call after this, but I'm going to definitely be on the Blue Jays, I think, here in this spot. Let me double check. I just refreshed. Let's see if it's available.
I might have to make a phone call after this.
Yeah, it's still not available for me. So kind of weird. I want to move on the Blue Jays here because I'm a guy that likes to fade Lucas Giolito, especially at this point in his career. You touched on his minor league starts, didn't pitch well there. Doesn't mean he can have a good start in the major leagues. Yeah, the guy's a vet. He's been around for a while. Blue Jays need to get going, and I think this is the perfect pitcher that they could face to get them going here in this spot. Being at home, I like the Blue Jays here in this spot. I'm just not going to give it out officially because I can't actually bet it yet. but I'm leaning towards the Blue Jays. What number do you guys have on the Blue Jays right now?
They've gone from plus 108 to minus 108.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's I like it. I'll end up moving on it once it's available, and I'll end up tweeting it out.
The one thing about Giolito I will mention is that he fucking gave up home runs left and right in Los Angeles. And by the way, I'll never forget that fucking Los Angeles nonsense. They trade their last remaining assets because this is the last half season with Ohtani. Fuck it. Instead of just deciding, hey, maybe we should trade Ohtani, but that is the whole thing. And then you trade for Giolito, you have him for 5 starts, and he's bad enough in those 5 starts, so they're like, you know what? No mas. No mas. They say no more and trade him away again. Hilarious. Shout out to Lucas Giolito. I will say, though, the one thing that he did well in the minor league rehab starts, not giving up home runs. He was a home run giver-upper at a high clip in his last 2 years. So if he's not giving up home runs, that's a good start. But let's see how he does today. I'm very interested.
Can you imagine how far that set back the Angels franchise?
Oh,
just incredible.
One trade, and you would be set up for the rest of history. And it's the same reason why Nico Harrison has to watch his back. Because he could have made one trade and set the franchise up for 10 years.
Yeah,
and it's not about trading. It's not about, not giving Luka $345 million. It's not about trading Luka. That's fine if you want to do that. But then you must set your franchise up for the next 10 years. It's just shocking that the Angels would be so short-sighted not to do that. But again, Crystal Princess can't put a penny on the Jays. Terrible right now. Nothing coming together for them right now. Shittiest. It's interesting that this is moving towards the under. This is Eric Lauer's chance to be in the Major League Baseball, but then it's also Giolito's. So it's a kind of a tricky situation. And we've already heard, we know that Lauer is confirmed, but we've already heard from Spooner, who says, I believe Giolito deserves more respect than that. He's ready to back him. He bet Boston at minus 112. But now, Boston's available at plus 108. My guy True a lot, 4th and 1, entertainment in the house. Let's roll on here because it's in. If the Red Sox weren't smashing lefties, I would be very interested. And I am saying it's the barometric pressure. I expected New Yorker. I'm not surprised. I expected Lauer to be pitching here. But, we will see. Let's roll on to the next spot on the board. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. The Arizona Diamondbacks 15-14, 7-6 on the road at the New York Mets. 21-9, 13-1 at home. 13-1 at home. Citi Field in Queens, New York. Irish King in the house. Let's take a look at the weather at Citi Field.
By the way, I've got Oscar Brazoban starting and Brandon Waddle as the primary.
Oh, because I just thought it was a full bullpen day. Okay, interesting. So can you set up Waddle?
RotoWire says Brandon Waddle. I have always some little bit of doubts with RotoWire. So just, of course.
Let's can we hear the breakdown on Waddle? Because I don't have that set up.
Sure.
But we know
I can tell you right now real quick for you. Sorry, Jimmy. Sure. Brandon Waddle's he has not pitched in the major since 2021. His last time out, he was with the Cardinals. Oh, my God. He was in single A in 2015. So journeyman as fuck. He spent the last 2 years in the KBO, and this is his first appearance for the Mets this year.
If this was hockey, we'd know that they'd rally around him. But it's not. And so who knows what the hell is going to happen to him on the hill. Brazoban's awesome, but again, he's going to throw 1 inning. And, speaking of a journeyman, Brazoban is the journeyman of journeyman, 35 years old, and he's been so good, but he'll be only in for an inning. Corbin Burns coming off the extra inning loss at home versus the Rays, 3 runs, only 1 was earned. And righties are hitting him really hard right now. And, Pete Alonso, Frankie will hit from the right side. Vientos, Alvarez, Acuna are the righties here. Again, you have to put some time in. I mean, okay, look, we know that is there a pitcher in Major League Baseball that could hit the mound for the Mets at Citi Field and lose a baseball game? I don't know. The Diamondbacks are hitting 248, 814, OPS versus righties. Waddle's a righty, right?
No, Waddle. I thought he was a lefty. Let me double check right now. Yeah, he's a lefty.
Okay, that changes things quite a bit. The New York Mets are hitting 239, 720 OPS versus righties. They're hitting lefties harder. Diamondbacks bullpen has been a real problem. Let's take a look at the line history here. AM says Burns gets shelled. D-backs put up runs. He's on the over 8. And when we go to the line history here, we have the Mets at minus 104. They opened up at plus 106. So they've gone from dog to favorite. Doesn't matter who is pitching. And then on the total for this one, we go to an 8.5 minus 108 to the under. A very, very slight move, a 3-cent move towards the over. So here we go. Wine time. Take it away, Diamondbacks, Mets.
Yeah, this is an interesting game here. This is a spot I honestly want to move on the Diamondbacks here. I mean, but like you said, I mean, can anyone really beat the Mets here at home? New York Mets 21-9 this year, off to a great start. Alonso is absolutely crushing the ball. Juan Soto is going to get going here pretty soon. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like seems like a Diamondback spot. It almost seems like a little bit of a fishy line here, only being minus 110 both ways here. I don't know. This seems like an Arizona Diamondback spot. Seeing that the Mets are somewhat of a dog right now, in my book, Diamondbacks are minus 110, Mets minus 104. So that's interesting. Team total for the Mets, 3.5. Team total for the Diamondbacks, 4.5. I don't know. I'm going to end up moving on the Diamondbacks here, I think, in this game. I haven't moved on them a lot, like I said I was going to this year. I'm glad I didn't start getting on them when I almost was again as well, because they went on a little bit of a losing streak. I think they can get a win here against the Mets here. It's a lean as of right now, but I'm most likely going to move on this. I'm not going to give it out quite yet, just because there's a couple things I still want to go over. And I don't think we have a confirmation on lineups yet, do we?
No,
but I mean, I assume who's going to be in these lineups, and I think the Diamondbacks could probably get it done here. I'm not going to move on it quite yet, but this is a very heavy lean for me towards the Diamondbacks and Corbin Burns. No, he hasn't looked that great this year. This might be a spot where he gets right, though, and it's kind of crazy to say that against this Mets lineup, but I think he have a good start here.
It's a confusing spot here to me. Jose Bouquet, take it away. Diamondbacks, Mets.
Yeah, I think everyone in the chat is saying this is a fishy line towards the Mets. I disagree. I think this is a fishy line towards the Diamondbacks here. I thought the Diamondbacks at least minus 130 coming into this game with your best pitcher on the bump. Allegedly, he's been pretty bad to start off against a Mets bullpen day. Give me the New York Metropolitans here. I took a minus 103 before the show started here. Again, fishy line. Doesn't make me feel good that we have right now 69% of the bets, 58% of the money on the Mets. No, I expected that to be flipped. But I thought for sure this would be minus 130 Diamondbacks at the very least here. And it's not. So, and the line moving down towards, I see openers at minus 115 for the Diamondbacks, moving down towards the Metropolitans here. Again, it's a little worrisome that there's more bets and money on the Mets. I'd like that to be on the National or on the Diamondbacks here. But I'm on the Mets here. I'll take that 13-1 record and I'll fight with it. You're muted, unfortunately, Jim.
Sorry. I don't feel comfortable with this spot at all. But Jose moving on the Mets minus 103. We have Dr. Kimball quotes in the chat, which I enjoy very much. Let's roll on. 7:40 p.m. Eastern. But Nuke Worker on your side there. Nuke Worker on your side.
That's all I need. That's all I need, Nuke.
Yeah. Let's move on to Brewers White Sox. Shane Smith looks spectacular.
Be right back.
Yeah, I picked the wrong goddamn White Sox guy. It was Shane Smith or Sean Burke, and I picked Sean Burke. Apparently, it should have been Shane Smith.
Yeah, Shane Smith looks incredible. He's getting everybody out. Doesn't matter if lefties 176, 523 OPS, righties 178, 504 OPS. Now the Brewers are hitting right now. Tobias Myers had an okay first start. This will be easier for him, you would assume. He went 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 homer, 2 Ks, 4 walks, and a 6-5 loss at the Giants. We're at Wright Field in Chicago, Illinois. 52 Fahrenheit, feels like 45, 8 miles per hour left to right, and dies down to 6.6 miles per hour. So let's take a look at the line history here for this one. Our second to last game on the board. We have a 7.5. So this total opened up at 7.5, but it didn't come out till 9:46 p.m. If you're looking at books that came out in the afternoon, you'll see that it did open at 8. From the 7.5 opener, we've not moved. Now, there was a time where this got juiced to the over, but it's come back. On the money line here for this one, we have the White Sox at plus 142. They open up at plus 139. I mean, this is a White Sox team that is 7-22, but they're 4-9 at home. You know, it's very low number. Both bullpens have been questionable throughout the season. Christopher Comantini looking at the first 3 under. AM is on the over 7.5. Says this Brewers team is very underrated. So let's roll. Let's just set this one up here. I think we already have, haven't we? Yeah. So take it away for us, Jose. The floor is yours. Brewers, White Sox.
Yeah, White Sox are killing it this year compared to the Rockies, who, by the way, are on a worse pace. I don't know what the right word is there. The worst pace than the White Sox were last year. How they started. I like the White Sox here, and I was kind of just battling to see how I was going to bet it. Market in this game is kind of, again, screaming White Sox to me. 65% of the bet, 61% of the money on Milwaukee here. I wish that was higher. But that is what it is. It opened up minus 170, now down to minus 155, minus 150. I like Shane Smith. Again, I was my White Sox pitchers that I liked here, Shane Smith and Sean Burke, because they were, I don't want to call them nobody guys, but most people haven't heard of either one of those guys, and they make the rotation starting from opening day is a very impressive thing to me. And I trust the White Sox kind of generally here with the new regime coming in. So, I like the White Sox here, and I am battling right now to see how I'm going to bet it. I think I have to just take full game money line here. If I'm, it's one of these mantras I have, or something I tell myself. If I see the full game line move, I have to bet full game instead of taking first 5, which might sound better because this White Sox bullpen is a little scary. Brewers bullpen is respectable. But the White Sox bullpen guys available right now, oh my God. Tyler Gilbert, Mike Vassell, Jared Schuster, and Penn Murphy all threw 20-plus pitches yesterday. So I'd be a little surprised if any of those guys go. That leaves Brandon Easlert, who threw 20 yesterday. I don't know if he goes. Steven Wilson, Cam Boozer, and Jordan Lazier, the last 2 guys left. My guess, Cam Boozer closes the game today and is a pretty good lefty here. So I'll be interested to see how this game unfolds. I think I'm going to move on White Sox full game money line here and let the market overlords take it away here. So full game money line White Sox for me.
What do you think about that? Christopher Comantini talking about the first 3 under. What do you think of the first 3 under 2? Is that asking for too much?
It's asking for a lot. I will admit that. It's asking for a lot. I'd rather have the full game under than the first 3.
Even with the bullpen's exhaustion?
Yeah, even with the bullpen's exhaustion, because it still went down from 8 to 8.5, or excuse me, from 8 to 7.5 here. Juice even both ways now where I'm looking. So, and I will mention total here. The only thing that keeps me off, or what I guess worries me about the total, 84% of the bets, 74% of the money on the under. So very, very popular, I guess, under. I don't know what the right word is there, but a lot of people are betting it.
Yeah, I did the wind going left to right across the diamond for 2 righties. It's going to help their movement. I wish the White Sox were playing, a better baseball team, because that first 3, a first 3 plus a half would be absolutely beautiful with Shane Smith. But I mean, it's going to be ridiculously expensive. I'm just curious to see what it will cost right now. It's going to be so expensive. Because look at this. So I guess that's the White Sox full game are plus 135. What do you think they are first three? Take a guess. Plus 135 full game. First three they are?
Minus 110.
Exactly right.
Ha ha! I bet on this.
All right, let's roll on to our final spot on.
By the way, Jimmy,
wine time
sorry.
back. Wine time. Sorry, my bad. Wine time.
You're good.
Your thoughts on Brewers White Sox?
This is a pass for me. I mean, I like what Jose said about this game. I mean, if I was gonna, gun to head, I would definitely take the White Sox here. Line moving towards them. No one's really taking them. It's just they're kind of like the Rockies with me right now. I don't really want to fade them, or I don't really want to be on that side. Even though it looks sharp and it looks like the line's moving towards them, they very well can go out. They both can go out there and get the win today. Don't get me wrong. And that's something I'm going to get involved in here in this spot. The White Sox are definitely live here, though, and that's some good plus money that Jose's getting there. But this is going to be a pass for me, nothing.
Plus 142 full game White Sox money line.
I like it.
And by the way, the Cardinals are going to win their game. They're up 4-0 top of the ninth.
Nice. Yeah, that was a mistake.
That late move to the Cardinals was the giveaway, I guess.
Yep.
It was eye-opening. The White Sox first three. If I take the first three under 2 and the White Sox first three, I feel like I can't. I shouldn't say that. I feel that it's unlikely to lose them both. Right? It's unlikely to lose them both because I think Tobias Myers has the ability to be a great pitcher in this league, but Shane Smith is so confident pitching at home. So if I lose the first three under 2, I think it's because the White Sox touch Myers for 1 or 2, not vice versa. So I think it's White Sox. So okay, this is a game I'm moving on. Finally, I don't have a lot of action today.
Hey, quick shout out to the chat, Jim. We got to 100 likes. We're at 101, so I wanted to get the fucking bottle out. Let's go, guys. Cheers to you guys right here, man. Love you guys. Shout out to PSR. Let's get paid today, man. Let's go. Cheers to you guys.
Oh, that looks delicious. Again, I know what's about to happen with the Derby here, and I'm gonna try to fight through the injury and go to the gym because if I don't do anything and just drink through the Derby, this foot is going to be a real problem. So, but I'll live vicariously through our friend Wine Time Sports. Let's talk about the final game on the board before we get into the NBA. 8:05 p.m. Eastern, the Oakland Athletics 15-15, 9-6 on the road at the Texas Rangers 16-14, 11-4 at home at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Weather-wise, it's 76, but we have rain in the forecast, so the roof will be closed. Luis Severino going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Severino 1-3, 3.49 ERA, 1.09 WHIP. He is being very good at home. He's been very good, honestly. Lefties are hitting 232, 695 OPS against him. Righties 189, 584 OPS. We have, a quality start, but it was against the White Sox. Eovaldi has looked awesome. You know what righties are doing against Nathan Eovaldi? 143 with a 340 OPS. I mean, so thankfully the Athletics have Butler, Soderstrom, Blade, and Kurtz all hitting from the left-hand side because lefties are hitting 213, 630 OPS. He looks very, very strong. A's hitting 243, 717 versus righties, while the Rangers are just 230, 671. The A's bullpen is a problem. Rangers bullpen is very good. AM is on the under 8, says I don't get this movement towards the over. Yeah, I hear that. I would think that it would have to be the A's bullpen, maybe, but I agree with you. Let's take a look at the line history here. We have the Texas Rangers at minus 149. They opened up at minus 150, so that's a surprise no move situation. And then when we get to the total here for this one, we have a total of 8.5. It's minus 111 to the over. This opened up at 9:40 p.m. An hour and 10 minutes later, it was a 7.5. And now we have an 8.5, and it even went to 9 for a cup of coffee. It wasn't a real 9, but that's a very strange move, very disconcerting. When we get to the cash flow, we'll let Jose give the total numbers because we can't trust totals here. But 58. Oh, sorry, we have. We have 87% I think it's 77% cash on the Texas Rangers. Yes, Chappie Funk, that's what we said. The roof was closed because it's raining. That's what we said, Chappie, my man, but all good. So here we go. The final spot on the board in MLB. Wine time, take it away. A's Rangers.
Yeah, this is going to end up being a pass for me, Jim. Don't get me wrong. I've been back in the Athletics this year in certain spots, been cashing with them. I don't necessarily think this is a spot to take them. Even though the public is coming in hammering the Rangers, this just isn't the spot I want to get behind the Athletics. They've got so much action on this card. It's going to be a late night game here. I don't want to fade the Rangers here in this spot, so I'm going to end up passing on this one. Shout out to the Athletics, though, being 15-15, 30 games in. This is a young squad. It's a decent team over there. We'll see how they end up finishing up. But yeah, I'm going to end up passing on this one.
Jose, our final spot on the board. I mean, if this line wasn't moving from 8 to 8.5, I imagine we would be on the under here.
Yeah. Why is it an 8.5 now? Is it because the roof's closed? Like, I just like that's.
You want if you want offense there, you kind of want the roof open, I believe. Again, let's hear from Jose. Take it away.
Yeah, I can only bet over with how the market is situated right now, unfortunately. I will say I think the A's are alive tonight. Not going to be a move I make. But I wouldn't hate anyone betting the A's here today. 82% of the money, 78% of the bets, or excuse me, backwards. 82% of the bets, 78% of the money are on the Texas Rangers here. Line is kind of, stayed the same, maybe 10-cent movement up, but not really enough with all that money, in my opinion. And as for the total, 80% of the bets, 55% of the money on the under. So big bets are coming in on that over here. It seems with all the tickets on the under. So no action here for me, but if I had to play anything, it'd be a rare over and the underdog here. I typically go under in the underdog, but no action here for me as well.
Let's review all action here in this one. David Redling says Reds slept through their game today, getting beat decisively. Even more atrocious, losing to a crap pitcher like Michaelis. Again, these old pitchers can get hot.
Grand Slam Tigers. Wow, 7-1.
Wow.
These
old pitchers can get hot. So that's back-to-back scoreless starts from Michaelis. When you see an old pitcher have a really good start a month into the year, it might not be an outlier. But we'll discuss more, of course.
Shout out to Morgan for being right on AJ there. Yeah, I'm assuming AJ was the one that did it. So,
absolutely. So, Jose, let's review action. I've got a pretty light card at this point. I'm still working on the Mariners and the Guardians. So that's a work in progress. I've already doubled up on unders, first 3 in full game in Tampa. I've doubled up on sides on the Padres, first 5 -1/2, full game -1 for the Padres. Those 2 spots I'm still working on. Other than that, I have some interest in the Blue Jays. I don't know if I get there. And then it'd be White Sox first 3 in the first 3 under 2 in Milwaukee, Chicago. And that's my Major League Baseball card for today. It's very light, but I'm okay with that. You can't force anything, especially when we're doing this every day for the next 5 months, 6 months. Jose Bouquet, take it away, your MLB action.
Yes, all these are full game. Orioles money line -113, Mets money line -103, Marlins -300 fade plus 280, White Sox plus 142, and the under in Royals Rays under 8 -105 for me there.
Mr. Spammington has just parlayed the Rockies with the Marlins for 11-1 action for young Spammington. Take it away for us here. Wine time, your plan.
Yeah, I've got a nice little card today, guys. 5-game card. Might add a 6-game. We'll see where we end up going. We took the Tigers plus 108 to start off the day. We're also on the Dodgers Braves money line parlay at -135. A little juicy, but I still love this parlay, honestly. Pirates money line plus 145. We got some good plus money right there. We're on the Orioles money line -115 against the Bronx Yankees. And then we're on the Royals Rays under 8 -110. I think this game's going to end up closing that at 7.5. I already see some movement to -120s at 8. Still take the 8 right now if you can get it. But I love this under with both of those teams and the angle that Jimmy's been talking about at the night games in Tampa. So give me the under 8 in that one. That's my card. 5 games. There's a couple other games I might end up moving on later. We'll see. And I'll end up tweeting them out.
I love it. I love it. And the credit for the unders really was the study of Spooner. So Spooner really put in the heavy lifting on that one. So, he deserves the love there. We're about to move on to NBA here. Jose, any last words on baseball before we get into NBA?
No, good luck everyone in the NBA. Jimmy, keep killing it. It's inspiring to watch someone actually win at the NBA because the NBA is a fucking bitch of a sport to bet. And we all know that you're a dominator in the playoffs. So keep it up. Good luck. And shout out to all you guys in the chat. We'll be back here soon.
Respect, my friend Jose. Thank you. It's so much fun capping these sports and attacking these spots and every day trying to be better than you were yesterday and every year trying to be better than you were last year and that's what's working here for me in NBA is this listening and working with great cappers. And we've got a great game to get us started here. And we have the Houston Rocket season ticket. Oh, he has the media pass to go to every single Houston Rockets game. And he is in the wings wanting to rock with us. JW says Rockets -4. That defense holds tonight. Before we do our full breakdown, I'm on the Rockets here, and I don't need statistics. I don't need numbers. This is, Jose talking about the playoffs being my wheelhouse. I just love these situations so much. If you study the numbers, you could get very cold feet on the Houston Rockets. If you tell me that the Rockets only won because Jimmy Butler got hurt, I disagree vehemently in that game. It didn't matter what happened to Jimmy Butler. The Rockets were winning that basketball game like I believe that they're winning this basketball game. Platinum Paul on the under. Let's get to work here. Nasty Nate says this show's got a lot of capper cock stroking lately. Yeah, Nasty Nate. I guess that happens when you go up 50 units in a month. People want to stroke your cock, Nate. I hope one day you can get that 50-unit month to get your cock stroked. Please welcome from Houston, Texas, our guy LJ from H-Town. LJ, what's good, man? How are you?
What's going on, people? Jimmy, wine time. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah,
Yes,
can you
sir.
move the phone sideways here for us? We need that here. There we go. LJ, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. Looking forward to this matchup tonight, Game 5, Rockets Warriors. I will be in the building, as you mentioned. Media pass. I get to go backstage, see the players, interview them, all that. But hey, interesting game tonight. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. West first round, Game 5. Golden State Warriors up 3-1. We're at the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Let's get into the line history here for this one and discuss the spot. Warriors are not too much different of a line than I already, that we moved on to 3.5. This opened up at 4. This was actually never 3.5 at this sharp offshore, interestingly enough. I mean, I did bet it at this book at -114, but as a -110 around, it never really got there. This opened up with the Rockets at -4, -105, got up to 4.5, back to 4, over to 4.5, and now we're stuck at 4. At the +4, it's the Warriors at -106. On the total here for this one, we have a 204 -113 to the under. This opened up at 204.5. I thought of moving on the under the team total under for the Warriors, but I didn't feel like this was a double down situation, really. I looked at what was so interesting was the double result was only +105. And I was like, whoa, that's saying something, that the possibility of the Rockets just taking care of business from tip-off to the final whistle like they did in Game 2 is a real legitimate thing. I also thought that after watching the Warriors win without Butler in Game 3, and then win in game 4, that there was going to be enough action on the Warriors for this to be right, just a perfect spot right in the wheelhouse. The pace of play is slowed way down. We are at 91.63 possessions a game. The Warriors want it to slow down, and so do the Rockets to some extent, but the Warriors really wanted to because they're shooting 36.1% from 3. Both teams have very similar shooting numbers. The problem is the free throw line. The Rockets have missed 35 free throws in this series. It's the statistic that's hurting them the most. We know what Butler does. He gets to the line, and what's he do when he gets there? He hits over 90%. Went 12 for 12 on Monday, 27 points, 5 boards, and 6 assists. Let's get to the cash here for this one. We have, now again, this is Action Network, which we're leaving, but 37% of tickets, 44% of the cash on the Rockets. If you had asked me to guess, I would guess about that. I would have guessed, I would said, I guess it's going to be about, 65 to 70% of the tickets on the Warriors and maybe 55 to 60% of cash on them. And that's where we are. 65% of tickets, 77% of cash on the over. Take it away for us, LJ, joining us for his Houston Rockets at home here. Kong's Clips. See, this is another point. Houston Rockets winning at the end of every quarter is only plus 200. That's crazy. Take it away, LJ. Warriors, Rockets.
Yeah, Jimmy. Very, very excited about this matchup. I'm going to trust my Rockets in an elimination game to go back to Golden State game 6. You hit it on the money, Jimmy. Free throws. You said they missed 35 in the series. They've missed 31 free throws in the 3 losses that they've had. And I think that's the glaring issue right there. You cannot squander opportunities when you can take advantage and get the momentum. That's what the Rockets have failed to do, because the Warriors have hit them with punches, in this series, but the Rockets have responded for the most part. They just can't get over that hump because they are still an experienced team. They're young, and I truly believe that we don't have a superstar dependable scorer that we could go to in clutch time. We have Sagoon. He's cool, but he only can do so much. We need somebody on that perimeter that can put pressure on the opposing defense and get easy buckets. Jalen Green is not that guy. He's too inconsistent. This guy has had single digits 6 out of his last 7 games. And he's on the verge of being an all-star, in my opinion, in the NBA. But his inconsistency is what's hurting him, and his lack of effort on defense is what's hurting.
Looks like
one of the reasons why Udoka didn't play him the last 5 minutes of that game 4. So all that is factoring in. To me, I'm going to trust the Rockets first half, Jimmy. That's been my play all year. I'm going to ride it today. I'm going to be on the full game as well, but I'm not going to make that official for the show because I believe the Rockets will probably win by maybe 1 or 2, probably squeak out this win. Maybe on a ref call that should have went the other way, whatever the case may be. I'm not confident they can trust the 3.5. You get what I'm saying? Because that's the 2 possessions. So I believe that hook is there for a reason. So I'm just going to trust the Rockets first half, throw the first punch in the first quarter, Golden State try to settle in, but yet the Rockets will still have enough to cover that first half. We'll see about the second half because, like I say, Steve Kerr, he's good at adjustments. He can go into halftime and figure something out and be at this game in the end of the game. But all that said, the Rockets have to hit their free throws and they have to make sound decisions at the end of the game to not squander away opportunities because this is a veteran team with the Warriors. Butler's been there. Curry's been there. You get what I'm saying? Draymond's been there. So they have experience in this situation, but I believe we're the more athletic team. We can rebound the ball better, and we get more opportunities than Golden State. We just have to convert them and make sound decisions at the end of the game in crunch time. So my play, Jimmy, official, Rockets, first half.
And is that money line or spread?
The spread. I don't know what the spread is. Whatever the spread is, the first half, I'm taking the spread.
All right, Rockets first half on the spread. Let's do a quick line shop. For me, it doesn't matter. So the best line available is the -2.5 first half at -110. Some of the sharper books are moving it to 3 and -118, but there is a first half -2 at -110. J Dub's taking the Rockets first quarter -1.5, -110. Just watching the rest of the game. That makes sense to me. I think that the main thing for me is this. It's impossible for Steph and Jimmy Butler to act like this game matters that much. They all know what's going to happen in Game 6 in San Francisco against Steph. And I mean, it's going to be there's just what chance? What's the line going to be? 7? I mean, it's a very tough place to play with everything on the line against Butler and Steph. But here in Game 5 in Houston, it's a wonderful spot. Let's hear from Wine Time Sports. Wine Time, take it away.
Yeah, I've got a couple of plays in this one, Jim. I'm with you guys. I'm all over the Rockets. I'm not going to move on them first half, though. We saw in the last game, we saw Podolski start off hot, making threes. We saw Draymond make his first 2 threes from the floor. They got up to a nice and early lead. Took some couple timeouts, made some adjustments. Went out there, played a little more man-on-man on defense, had some stops, and they started attacking the bucket. We saw Dylan Brooks attacking the bucket a couple times, just getting a couple points on the board, chipping away. Then we saw Sengun start to eat a little bit. Draymond's kind of been shutting him down all game. He did have 31. He did take almost 30 shots from the floor, but he's going to have to make his free throws when he gets fouled. That's the thing. Jalen Green, this guy's got to get it going, man. This is like your up-and-coming superstar. You paid him a lot of money. This guy's got to get going. We saw what Freddie VanVleet did, man. We saw what he did, and that's make 8 threes. He's been there. He's beaten Curry in the finals. You know what I mean? I don't know. The Rockets we'll see what happens in Game 6. I'm really curious to see what that line's at. I think the Rockets were very live in that last game. Steve Kerr does what he always does, makes those second half adjustments. Went out there. I think it was an 18-1 run to start the second half, something crazy like that. I forgot what it was. But the Warriors they came out heavy, and the Rockets were still in that game from every point, give or take. I don't expect Freddie VanVleet to make 8 threes again, but I expect Jalen Green to make a couple more shots, attack the rim, get to the free throw line, make those free throws. Sengun should have a good game. I mean, his point props, we attacked it last game over 19.5. This game, it's 22.5. He's going to eat tonight. He's getting 30. So I'm going to move on a couple things here in this, guys. The only thing I've made official, gave out a parlay yesterday, the first leg's the Rockets money line. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Rockets -4, -110, the full game. I could have gotten a 3.5 at one point, didn't end up moving on it, but I can get a 4 now, so I'm going to move on it. And I'm looking at a point prop here, and Alperen Sengun over 22.5 points, -110 right now. I'm going to give that out as well. I think he's going to absolutely eat tonight. I think he's going to be able to get 30 again. This is going to be a good game, but I think the Rockets are going to be able to pull this one out at home. They're going to have the home court advantage. Udoka has lost to Kerr in the finals. He needs to make some second half adjustments. I'm not sure how the first half's going to go. We'll see. Oh, my guy, LJ cashes that first half as always. But I expect Udoka to step up with a better game plan and not to come out so flat in that second half like they did in that last game, because if they didn't come out so flat, they win that game easily. So with that being said, I'm on the Rockets pretty much every way you can get them. Full game, money line in a parlay, -4, -110, and Sengun over 22.5 points, -110.
You are locked in. Chase says, I don't see how you can take Houston to not only win this game, but by 4 or more against a team that seems to have their number. Feels like you're on the right side. You may feel sharp. And that's Jermaine also thinking that disagreeing, saturated, thinks the Warriors want rest. I tell you, I tried to hit you guys so hard with how easy the Bucks were yesterday. So easy. And, they were up 11-0 and 30-13. I had them first quarter and first half. I think the Rockets are that easy tonight. And again, look, we can be wrong. I think it's so easy. And we can come back here tomorrow and I can be so wrong. But I think this is so fucking easy. Rockets are going to step up at home for their fans, for their coach, for their teammates, for everything. They're going to put it all together. just like they did in game 2, it didn't matter that Butler got hurt, honestly. They were a runaway train, which is what I expect them to be tonight. And if that's the case, then I should probably take the double result and have that as my double up, which I should do. I should probably do. Those of you on the first quarter and wait, that might be the sharpest way to do it, honestly, or the easiest way, maybe not really sharp, but the easiest way is just to get. But I think this is runaway train type situation. And I can't wait to talk with Wine Time about the Lakers game because I don't. Saturday says, do I think the Warriors win last game without Jimmy? No, I think that the Warriors would lose game 2 in Houston with a healthy Jimmy Butler. That's what I think. That game 2 after losing game 1, game 5 after getting beaten in games 3 and games 4 in San Francisco. I think this is just now. Look, I studied the numbers, and the numbers don't help you get there. They don't. So this is just situational 101 for me. And I think this is Jermaine says Houston shell-shocked. How could they be shell-shocked? They almost won both of those games.
Yeah.
Look, they know they have a lot to learn. It's like some of these teams, like the Montreal Canadiens, they don't. Do you think Martin St. Louis or the Brass care if the Capitals beat them 5-1 tonight? No, they wanted these kids to have this experience. And it's probably better for the franchise if they lose this game 5-1 and get beaten 4-1 than taking the Capitals too far, thinking that they're ready. So that's my belief. And again, we'll see how it bangs out. I'm not like, just because I'm so confident. Look, I know what gambling's like. It doesn't mean that I'm not saying a lock or this is certain, but I think this is easy, very easy. I was very confident on the Pistons last night, but I didn't think it was going to be easy like this one. I think it's going to be easy. So Markel says this night Jalen Green can go over. So Wine Time on Sangoon. He's on the Rockets -4 at -110. LJ is on the Rockets first half -2. And saturated. Look, I think this is going to be as easy as yesterday felt. Now, the Pistons didn't feel easy. They felt right. It felt sharp. They felt like that breakdown, I think, made sense. But this, to me, is like the Bucks first quarter, first half. I think the Rockets do it for their fans, do it for their teammates, do it for everybody. And then game 6, I think they lose. And again, the Celtics, waited to put their foot on the throat of their opponent. It's easier to do that at home than it is on the road, man. It's playoff basketball to do that stuff on the road. Now, to win a game 1 is much easier as a road team than to win a game 5. Things get more difficult. And Nuke took the double result. I think I'm going to add the double result. It gives me that extra, the 2-unit play that I'd like to move on it. Double result. All right. And Res Mob's play day is Warriors first quarter +1.5, which is wildly interesting. So going up against JW, it's being copied and pasted. And these games are a lot of fun to watch. And I can't wait to watch this one. Let's talk about Wine Time's Los Angeles Lakers. Game 5, Minnesota up 3-1 in the series. The Timberwolves were a strong road team, especially in the second half of the season, and the Lakers were a great home team all year long. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow, and also we should go do a once over on the any kind of injury, last minute injury expectations. There's not much that we need to worry about within these two games. Nothing in the Timberwolves Lakers game. Of course, Butler is a game time decision, but we know he's listed as probable. So here we go. Line history in Timberwolves Lakers. We have the Lakers becoming bigger and bigger favorites, and I can understand why situationally, people would want to back them. We have not had much movement in either game. The Lakers opened up -5.5, -105, and right now they're -5.5, -108. Again, you could say the same thing about the Rockets. There's been no movement on these two favorites. From a total standpoint, we have a 210 minus 108 to the over. This opened up at 211 and it dropped down to 209.5. New Glory says, can we really give 6 here with the Lakers? He says, not me. Saturated says, I don't think the Rockets are ready to ascend. Look, I agree. Winning game 5 at home when you're down 3-1 is not ascending. Losing the series 4-2 is not ascending. So I hear you. I don't think winning this game at home for the Rockets in game 5, I mean, it doesn't mean that much. I don't, and I, who knows that for sure is Curry, and Butler. And Saturated saying that they want to break is fair, completely fair. Okay, let's roll here. Big Zo says, wonder if Lakers first quarter is live again. This pace, like the pace in the first game, 91.25 possessions a game. So they've slowed down about 6 possessions from the last 10 games of the regular season. Not quite as much as how much the Warriors and the Rockets have slowed down, but the market has, corrected itself to these slower games. We get to the cash flow here. 70% of tickets, 71% cash on the over. And on the spread, we have 66 and 60. Again, Platinum Paul taking the 6 with the Wolves. This is one-way traffic. This is Lakers or no action. I find it very difficult to believe. The only difference, I would say, from the 2 series for the road team is that it would feel really good to do this in LA. Do you think it feels really good for Steph and Jimmy to do it in Houston? No. No. We can do it for our own fans and whatever. But for Ant to do it at Crypto, would make them feel good. I don't think it matters too much, honestly. The Timberwolves here and the Lakers, sort of like the Warriors, Rockets, are shooting very similar. The Lakers are shooting just 44.3 from the field, but that's the same with Minnesota, just 45.3. And the Timberwolves are shooting better from 3, 38.1 and 36.3. I wonder if instead of backing the double result for the Rockets, I wonder if I should just moneyline parlay the Rockets and the Lakers. I'll make that decision, but I don't think maybe that is a better way of handling it. I'll make that decision. But Platinum Paul says Edwards have to prove a point right now, and that's a very legitimate way of looking at it. Let's set this one up for wine time because we want to hear him talk about Lakers, not me. Timberwolves took a 3-1 lead in the series. They dominated down the stretch in game 4. They outscored Lakers 32-19 in the fourth quarter and won by 3. Ant went for 43, 16 in the fourth quarter, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. We know that he's him. Randall for 25, Jaden McDaniels 16 and 11. If you count the playoffs, the Timberwolves are 20-5 since March 2nd. And what does that coincide with? Julius Randle returning from his groin injury. Luka finished with 38. I guess he had the stomach issue in game 3. LeBron goes for 27 points, 12 boards, and 8 assists. I think this is just situational 101. The only I don't have concern about the Warriors going into Houston and winning. I don't. I do have tiny bit of concern for Ant coming in and wanting to prove a point. Also, a 4 is more comfortable than a 6. I'm still kind of figuring out how to get that extra unit in, and it might just be Rockets money line, Lakers money line, because I'm certainly not going to have 3 units on the Rockets game, which would be Rockets minus 3.5, double result, and the parlay. That's too much. I don't want that. Take it away, wine time. Timberwolves, Lakers, game 5, West round 1.
Yeah, this can be the second leg of that 2-leg parlay, Jim. This is my highest play of the day. I'm 2.5 units on this one right here. Lakers money line, Rockets money line parlay plus 120. You can get a similar number anywhere right now, guys. I absolutely love this. I'm going to be locked into these NBA games tonight, especially this one. I don't know if you guys watched the last game. The Lakers were in control pretty much throughout the whole game, taking 10-point leads, and then just blowing it, especially at the end of the quarters, man. Just not a lot of just giving up at the end, last minute. And the last couple of years, that's kind of how LeBron's been. At the end of these quarters, they'll have these big leads, and all of a sudden, the other team will hit 2 threes, one of them at the buzzer. You know what I mean? Just they give up almost in that last minute, and they can't do that here. I expect JJ Redick to have a great game plan to start to finish. I think they beat these guys. I think Luka and LeBron are going to go out there. They're going to do their thing. Both these guys are used to being down. I mean, Luka was down 3-1 to the Suns, I believe, 2 or 3 years ago in that Western Conference Finals. I think it was 3-1, right? They were down 3-1, I believe. We know what LeBron's done against the Warriors back in the day in the Eastern Conference when he was on the Cavs. These guys are used to it. I'm not saying they're going to win this series, but they're going to win this game. I can promise you guys that. I'm so bullish on this. Like, not just as a fan, but just like this is just such a big game, and they're not going to let this go at home. We're seeing the -6 now for a reason. We haven't seen spreads like this the entire series. The Lakers are going to take care of business. I'm not going to take them to cover the spread. I trust them to win this ball game. I'm not going to take the 6. I'm taking the money line parlay with the Rockets, and I trust the Rockets to win today as well. That's why I was heavy on them -4 as well. I just love these spots for these two teams tonight, and I think the Lakers are going to take care of business at home. This is a pretty low total, and the total's dropping from what I'm seeing right now. I'm not going to move on the total, though. I expect LeBron and Luka to go out there and do their thing. They're going to need some other guys to step up. Don't get me wrong. Ant-Man, though, man, I mean, he's living the dream right now. You know what I mean? He's out there playing against legends he grew up watching. He took out KD last year. He's going up against LeBron right now. You're seeing them go one-on-one. Ant said after the game, he's like, he's a lot stronger than me, but I'm telling him that I'm not afraid. You know what I mean? I'm here, and I believe that. I believe in Ant Edwards as a basketball player, but not in this game. I don't believe in the Timberwolves win this game. Lakers win. Lakers money line parlay. Keeping it simple. That's my only play on this game. Parlayed with the Rockets.
I'm going to join you guys. I'm going to cut the double result. I think that, you do need some things to go your way. I don't want 3 units on that first game. Gives me something on the late game. We have a BJ on the exact same bet. Just for a unit. I'm not going to do anything good. Unit on the Rockets -3.5, which is already in. And then the 1 unit on the Rockets Lakers parlay here. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then, game 6 is going to be, we need to get there. But game 6 in Minnesota is going to be really fun because there's such a LeBron knows that time is running out and Ant is the future. And it's going to be really fun to watch those two collide, and Luka. It's going to be fun, man. This is so much fun. All right. That is NBA for Wednesday, April 30th. We have wine time on the Rockets -4, Sengun over 21.5 points. I have a question now, because as we've gotten closer as friends, I've got to learn about how much you're putting on certain things. Do you have, is the Sengun player prop the same amount as the Rockets -4, or is player props less than the unit size that you have? Because your unit size is higher than mine.
Yeah, so it's actually. Oh, my apologies.
No, jump in.
I do about a half unit on that for the player props always. I said it actually. I actually tweeted that out yesterday. Gave out a player prop for baseball, and I said, I'm going to count this as a unit, but just so you guys know, I have a half unit on this. It's a player prop. That's what I usually do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'll do 1 unit, but most of the time it's always a half unit on those. But it's still a play I like to give out to you guys, a play that I do believe in. I play quarter unit plays, but I'm not going to give those out. But half unit plays definitely will on player props. So, yeah.
And what was the decision, saturated, curious too, between the points for Sengun and the PRA?
I just think, don't get me wrong. It's the point prop went up obviously because he went off for over 30 points last game. But I just believe he's going to eat in that paint. I'm not going to trust him to get rebounds and assists. Don't get me wrong. I know he's going to get his boards and he's going to clean those up, but I'm just going to trust it on the points. Me, Jim, I don't think I've ever moved on a PRA other than that one that I tilled you on the show. I forgot what it was. Yeah. What was it again?
It was D'Angelo Russell.
That's right. That was the only time I legit gave one out and played it and gave it out officially. And I just don't do it, I don't know why. It's probably because my ROI before I started actually giving out all my plays and stuff wasn't good. And so I got away from that. Just never really got back to it. So I'm just going to move on the points. I just trust that he can easily get 25 to 30 points in this game. He should eat tonight.
I love it. I love it. Excellent work. We have Rockies threatening in the bottom of the second against the Braves. It's pretty wild in these situations. I love these live situations. You can now. Oh, it just moved 10 cents, but the Braves were minus 110 money line with 2 runners on, second and third, and no out. Now it's minus 120, but a little move there. The Dodgers are on the board as well. They went yardstick. It looks like Maximus Muncy. I believe that, Muncy hit the solo shot. 1-0 Dodgers, and the Rockies threatening as well. Sanchez says you only usually takes PRA when the guy's capable of exceeding his rebounds or assists. And he says used to be super sneaky with assists. There's Justin Biller in the house. I'm off Operation Garcia, Justin. Although the Lakers are perfect for it, and it's worked the last 2 days. So I haven't gone over those numbers the last 2 days, but I'm sticking to the plan going back in the finals because the market. I'm very interested to see what happens when the Cavs and the Celtics play, or in the next round with the Cavs and the Pacers. It's very possible that the Pacers, even though they've slowed down their pace quite a bit from last year, that those games could start soaring over again. You need for the look. How about this? Let me tell you this: if round 2 and 3 are not higher scoring rounds, then I won't take Operation Garcia in the finals. The scoring the market has to catch up to the unders, and then it has to start soaring over again. So honestly, if that doesn't happen, maybe I don't move on the finals. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, Justin. But I haven't moved on Operation Garcia in 10 days since Sunday the 20th. So there we go. Wine time. Spectacular work today. Another monstrous day of capping for you, my friend. I hope you get that cash. Nasty Nate says you want to know what happens when the Cavs play the Celtics. I do, Nasty Nate. Kevin Garrett says you have any futures for NBA or just hockey? I do. I have the Cleveland Cavaliers to win the NBA championship at plus 700. So Nasty Nate and I will be having a lot of fun during those games if we get the opportunity, which we expect. But again, we need to get there as well. Wine time, what work you put in today. Thank you so much for all of your hard work. I love seeing you cash. Wine time, 62.3% in Major League Baseball on this show. We've had 2 cappers get to 60% in sports. Can we have someone do it twice? That's what Wine Time is trying to do. I'm going to drop Wine Time's X handle here in the chat. Please support our guy, Wine Time Sports. I know I'll be messaging back and forth as the Lakers game is going on and the Rockets game, I'm sure, as well. But thank you for all you do for us. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
Yeah, Jim, my man, always a good time doing the show with you. Let's get paid. That's most important. You know what I mean? Let's win and let's keep winning, Jim. We're seeing these cards really good lately, and I think we're just going to continue to do that. Let's dominate. Let's get paid tonight, man. We got a big card going on. We got baseball throughout the day. We got the NBA playoffs tonight. We're going to be locked in, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Always a good time with you. I'll see you Friday, my friend.
I look forward to it. There he is, Mr. Wine Time Sports in the house. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. I don't see Jose backstage, so I will put a bow on. Oh, look, here he comes. So I will put a bow on the festivities here together. But thank you guys so much for all of your hustle and for all that you put in. But yeah, Kevin, that's the only one I have. I had 3 in the regular season. I went 1 and 2 on them. This is the last one I have, so I don't have as much, invested here. Let's get the Snips back on here to put a bow on today's proceedings. Jose, do you want to review your MLB action for those that may have missed it?
Sure. I am on the Baltimore Orioles. I am on the New York Mets. I am on the Miami Marlins and Chicago White Sox money lines. I'm also on the Royals versus the Rays under 8 as well.
And again, it's so much fun to make these live bets in play if you trust the side or you trust the pitcher, because the minus 110, when that hit happened, they'd runners on second and third, 0-0. They get out of it only allowing 1 run, and now they're minus 165. And that's a huge difference and a very fun one there. We're at the top of the third. It is 1-0 Dodgers over the Marlins there. Kong thinking Cleveland beats the Pacers 4-1 or 4-2-0. Let's review all action. Stacks play today. Number 1 is the over in this Rockies game, over 10.5. And number 2 is the Yankees over 10. Pig Milk play today is the St. Louis Blues money line here. Gorky is on the Braves money line. Rez Mob, that was yesterday. Mr. Belvedere is the Orioles money line, and he's on the Rockets -3.5. Then we have Spooner, who's already got the Tigers +110 in line. He's also on the Angels +130 and the Boston Red Sox -115. Ron Crawford's play of the day is the Texas Rangers on the run line. Mr. Jeff Slaughter gave us Astros Dodgers money line parlay at +137. Justin McKelvey already cashed with the Cardinals to get his day started. And BJ's best bet in NBA is the Houston Rockets money line. In the National Hockey League, Gogsters on the first period, both teams to score, Washington, Montreal, and both teams to score 3. It's funny because I don't see it quite that way. I see the Capitals playing like men against the Canadians team that's just young and is learning. And I think that the veteran savvy comes out in that hockey game. I'm on the Capitals -1, and I'm now going to be adding a Capitals Jets money line parlay. I'm on overtime in Florida, Tampa Bay. This is the fifth time I've bet it, and so it's not gone well. Now, thankfully, the Colorado-Dallas one has, and also, thankfully, they're not both playing on the same night. I get a sick feeling in my stomach when I have to bet those. Gogster's on overtime in St. Louis, Winnipeg in first period draw, a +160. I think everything changes in that series. I think it completely changes. And we'll see. I can't wait to see if that is the case. The New Workers on the Caps puck line and Red Sox Cubs run line parlay for the Nukester tonight. We have let's move past the 210 games. So for me, I've got those. Now I've got to decide about the Mariners here in 30 minutes. Be curious to see very quickly before we put a bow on the show if that line is then come back to the Mariners. It probably has. Those aren't the moves I care about the most. Also, notice now, look, Dollander can get hit hard, but I expect Dollander to possibly even be, say it, bet on. He's the 9th overall pick in the draft. I mean, he's going to be better than his numbers have indicated so far. But let's see if we got to move back to the Mariners, because if we don't, I should just stay off of it. I think. Yeah, we don't. I'm not going to get away in the way of this line move. It's 15 cents away from the Mariners. I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that one go, which is easier to say when you're winning, harder to say when you're losing. We have, then for me, I've got the double up on the Padres. That also starts at 4:10 p.m. The Guardians, I expect to move on. I want to study it a little more. And then I don't have another look here. This is a wildly low card for me. Oh, I might move on the Jays. I want to study it. But the next spot is that White Sox first 3 and the first 3 under 2. That will be my action. And then, as you know, we just talked basketball. That is our show for today. Coming off a strong day yesterday, we need to keep stacking winning days and keep succeeding, working together as a group. Sometimes it takes a village to beat the books, and we are that village. Thank you guys, all of you. Big Zoe, Philly Eagle Flyer, the Nuke Worker, Kevin Garrett's, of course, Wine Time for sharing the screen. Great to have LJ rolling with us as well. Saturated, Nasty Nate, Kongs, Clips, Kevin Garrett's, Justin Biller, Mr. Belvedere, Chase J, Philly Eagle Flyer, Swish, BJ. Thank you guys. Truly, truly thank you. Platinum Paul coming off a huge day with us, rocking with us yesterday. Lil Domo, Chill Will. Thank you guys. Thank you. Truly, truly thank you for all that you put into the show. Markel, Chappie Funk. Thank you guys. King Ooh. Mr. Spenny Penny Bomb says series on Raps tonight. Wow. Spenny thinking it's all going to end here in NBA. I don't. Oldie, thank you. Fernando Mendoza, Robert Franklin, Crip Key. Thank you guys. And Spenny, I didn't have this. Sorry, is Butler 7 rebounds and 5 assists at +320, and he's on 7 rebounds and 7 assists at +700. Wow. JW, thank you as well. Jose, my friend, excellent work. Thank you for all that you do for us. Can you please bless our action and send us into the future?
Yeah, shout out to everyone in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the people that start off the mornings with us. 10 a.m., 11 a.m., whatever time you guys jump into Pub Sports Radio watching the show before us. We appreciate you guys. It's going to be a fun day of capping. We'll be back here tomorrow yet again, breaking down a lot more action, a little bit of a baseball card. Thursday's a little lighter, but shout out to you guys for watching in here, and let's milk some fucking bookies today, and let's leche. Los bookmakers. Let's go.